train. I am looking for an appropriate time, but seems that the run and only spells is far from my own. Where can I find you? The train has already gone. Not a big deal, no need to rush. Let's go by Sunday train. I just noticed now I didn't have ticket to the future, but I found it now. It was nothing hard. All I wanted was an excuse. Ooh, now I found you. The train can be there now. Ooh, we can go anywhere. There is nothing left here to do. It's just perfect. No need to rush. Let's go by birthday train. Get on to rock, get up to burn, stand with the pride, ever feel your desire. One day I noticed that my life was broken. It was not me who was controlling this body. Oh, I want to know what's really real to me. Turn around, stay away, laughing so hard, here it goes again. Time will wait for us, so I thought. Up and rest, out of luck, it's just the usual stuff and all. But where your footsteps go, what am I doing here? I don't know how you're feeling now, hope you were not lonely. Worrying about the weather, are you crying? Coming home, I'll be waiting.
It's coming home, lads. That's good, guys. I'm just getting something set up real quick, and then we are good to go. What the? Oh, yeah, save this image. Back. Ah.
Our school, our neighborhood, places to love. Can't find anything left of you.
Yeah, was good, guys. Was good. Got another stacked sub 8. Would be very, very interesting here. Of course, we are still a kind of qualifying event, I guess, for the Hetzumber sponsorship that we're doing. If you haven't seen it yet, I actually posted the standings for that in the Guildskit channel just today. I'll find my act a little bit together, at least. Yeah, it's going to be top 16 qualifying for that, of course. So fairly interesting seeing how that one out. Imagine that, getting a chance to meet childhood hero Jonesy. All people have been looking forward to shaking his hand. Good. You can check the Guildskit channel. That's easier than me showing it, I guess. I can maybe show it later. Yes.
It's to beat Izzy just to get to top 8.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. You just did not give us any warning, and we were talking mad shit about the players in the bracket.
Yeah, I heard, man. Even worse, you guys don't want to see what they wrote, man. Jeez.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh. All kinds of evil words.
Evil words, indeed. I think it's kind of interesting, though, looking at the standings, right, for top 16. Some of these players are, like, I think, barely on the precipice of qualifying for next Monday.
So
yeah.
Craziest part is that most of these players that are in the qualifying segments of this top 8 are all regular top 8ers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although Precho we haven't seen in a minute, though. I don't doubt, like, her being here is no big surprise.
Yeah. And that's interesting as well, because Precho actually, they haven't participated in any of the other ones, and if Precho is, someone who wants to maybe accept the Hetzumber sponsorship, go to the finals, well, they actually maybe have to get into top 2 today, because not playing the first 2 weeks means you barely have any points. All right, so you're actually going to get a ton of points today, otherwise it's just GG's.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone can pull it off with a sudden long-awaited return to online stuff, or more likely Salty, right? And then try to qualify for some points in second place, it is definitely Precho's.
I guess for that. I can send it in the commentary chat so you can actually see what I mean. The standings.
The current standings are Wow.
Just real quick, I want to ask because I'm assuming we're live right now, but is the mic on?
Oh yeah, we always live right on.
Oh, so the mic has just always been on. That's
Yeah,
cool. That's great to
on.
know.
Always. The entire time.
Yeah.
We all heard what you said, and
everybody heard it. It's
So
we get it. NA people don't like EU people. We understand.
Damn, that's crazy because I had it the other way around. I thought people in the EU didn't like the NA people.
Yeah.
No way, man. We are so welcoming and kind, and it's only you NA people that keep being so mean to us.
Hey! What do you mean by you people? Like, what do you mean by that?
You people.
I think Yaku meant exactly what he said, and Emo, that's crazy. I was advertising like crazy for that couple last weeks. The head stumper thing.
Yeah, but again, I think we've had a lot of banter here behind the scenes, but I think it's about time we get introduced to everything going on. So what's good? Hello everybody, welcome back to SaltyEU once more for Guilty Gear Strive's 134 entry in the series for SaltyEU. I am once again your co-commentator today. I am Sir Kappa representing YoKai, and here today I have my partner in crime as per usual, Yucker. How you been, buddy?
I am tired. We had our 2-day event yesterday, and then I was like, today I will rest and recover from a months-long planning, and then I woke up 8 a.m. anyways. And then I sat in a 2-hour meeting with another TO.
I definitely feel you on that front. Like I remember having I went like a full 3 days, like almost 4 days commentating. By the time I got to the 5th one, I was like, yeah, I think I might just sit this one out. Come to find out, they put me on top 8. I'm like, god damn it.
You gotta be careful. If you get too good, people will start looking out for your name. Be like, oh, we need to get this guy on here. We need him on here.
I've had a couple people ask me, it's like, hey, when are you gonna get back on commentary? My brother in Christ, I didn't have a setup.
I was wondering a bit too. It's like, oh, this Kappa guy gone. I guess he got tired of EU. Sure, fair enough. I would understand waking up early to commentate. That kind of can stink a bit.
I mean, it's not that bad, honestly. Like, it's actually probably one of the benefits of like commentating the EU is just having that benefit of being able to wake up early at like a reasonable time, and I get some pretty good sleep because I'm only commentating top 8, so I don't feel too exacerbated and too exhausted. So I'm pretty hyped for this.
Fair. See, us EU folk, we're on the opposite spectrum of it, where we're sort of sitting here silently praying that it's not going to be an epic set on stream and we can all just go to bed on time, but. It's the duality of it, right? You see like a really close set go 3-2, and then the person just barely gets that final round for the reset, and you're like, oh my god, they reset it, no way! And then you have to put on this big old grimace.
Yeah, it's like, yay, reset, and then you realize what time it is. Yay, reset.
Yeah. So that's the mark of a professional commentator, is you keep that yay reset to yourself, right? And you just make sure that the energy is all good even at 11:30.
Oh yeah, for sure. You always want on top of that, so that way you can keep the whole flow of the stream as well as the gameplay going. You want to really set the tone for the precedent of what the reset can do, or just in any game, for instance. Like, the mentality I always have is like treat every game as if it's the last one, and I think that's the best way to look at it for me.
That's fair. If you can keep that up, that definitely makes for a really cool long bracket. But if you're on for like 3 hours and you're treating them all like the last game, your voice is shot after the first hour.
Yeah, well, obviously, like that's why I've definitely taken a lot of influence from a lot of my commentary peers, especially from NA side. So you have like you have Jeek himself, the co-creator of the Jeekly, and seeing how a lot of my commentary peers they take their time, just take it casually. And then as time goes on, that's when you could really put on the precedent, put on the, oh my god, you broke him in half.
Oh my god, no way. Crazy vocabulary gets exhausted out there, and then all kinds of screaming, neighbor complaints in the next morning is beautiful. But I have no good segue. Soap Eater versus Tiger Pop is coming up next.
And Tiger Pop won last week, so this is definitely a very nice showing from them to be here as the first match on stream.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's Soap Eater always puts on a really strong fight against Tiger Pop, and definitely has like really good momentum showings, just like this, because both of these characters quintessential vision of Strive at the moment, right? Really strong kits, but once the other gets the hold of their opponent, it's it's kind of almost lights out. You only have the system mechanics to defend, just like we saw the blue RC to be able to create a slight gap, because outside of RC and Burst, Johnny has nothing. And the same goes to Happy Chaos, which cost Tiger Pop his first round.
I mean, Tiger Pop is definitely no slouch, though. He's definitely had to work around a lot of these options before, and this is definitely going to be no different as per usual. Being at the top level the way that he is, you always have to work around limitations, and he is more than willing to go against the grain to do so.
Oh, certainly. He's an absolute lab monster. Really, I think I haven't seen some of the scariest backdashes come out of Tiger Pop to be able to escape a lot of crazy pressure.
soHn just trying to control the space, and they've already put on quite a very strong start in order to combat a lot of Tiger Pop's potency, but this is the time where Tiger Pop really gets their stuff going. After a little bit of time on the back end, finally gets themselves going, going to cash out into some Deus Ex Machina to get that positive bonus.
Yeah, so fully loaded on the focus and the bullets. I'm setting up nicely here, though. Peter has had enough. Going to be YRC trying to take the turn back, but there's a clean punish. Bounce him off against the wall. Going to get that full clip back, half on focus, but a bit of that time being killed, running up for that guaranteed Oki thanks to the hard knockdown will generate it back, but just the shin kick will be enough, and the rounds are tied up.
Just your natural born footsies gameplay, as we're all accustomed to with the silliest Smurf and Guilty Gear Strive to really get things going. Does get the throw though, does set themselves up nicely, and the cylinder is practically full. This is always a fantastic place to be in if you're a Tiger Pop.
Yeah, although using almost all the resources just to run in, is going to be able to reload the clip thanks to Deus Ex Machina, but the focus is extremely low. So you're going to have to be really careful on managing the gun usage here, but the run-up, flow slash, catching a backdash presumably will be enough, and Tiger Pop just taking that first game, finishing off on a perfect, no less.
Yeah, I think there's something to be stated about the way that Tiger Pop really just views this game in a mentality state, where even on the back end, it doesn't ever feel like they're really losing. It just feels like they're just getting slower to start up, but once they really get that one sequence that really gets them going, that's when the whole game flips on its head. And it really showed just kind of how well Tiger Pop can adapt to these micro situations and really make the game his if you give it the chance.
Certainly. So gonna be interesting to see how soHn can make sure he is not given that chance, right? Really forced to sit there, be patient, and possibly even take a very dangerous gamble that soHn may or may not be able to capitalize on for some massive damage, because essentially it is the same that Tiger Pop has been throwing out in the last 2 rounds, where unfortunately soHn has not been able to guess correctly into some massive hurt.
Does represent the far slash of the gods, one of the best in class, if not the best in class Pokemon in this game. But that is a great Goomba Stomp to be able to burst through the scene and really start putting themselves on the front foot, really putting things into overdrive, putting soHn on the back end.
Yeah, Elden Ring mix, unfortunately, might be a true combo, but still under pressure at the time being. But the forward advancing BRC is going to try and catch Tiger Pop, trying to set up for a curse here. No hard knockdown off that wall break, but immediately you see the chase down, but the space away. He's trying to aggressively burst and try and put him close to the corner, looking for those misfinders, trying to chase him down, but RC is being used to avoid the other for the time being.
Yeah, despite the very ironclad defense of Tiger Pop, there is the subtle fact that soHn is definitely a tenacious one indeed. I've seen them play before, and soHn is rather tenacious if given the opportunity. And just with that threat of Curse looming, Tiger Pop trying to reinforce themselves, soHn just has no fear, is just running into the space.
Certainly, I think soHn understands, like, hey, Johnny's cool and all with his long-range tools, but Happy Chaos just has a gun, so there comes a point where I just need to be the aggressor here. Make sure that I get my pressure started, that there's no chance for Tiger Pop to, set up his own, throw up the curse, just gunshot his way into my face, and then run stagger pressure, Elden Ring mix-up, the lot.
And you cannot afford any luxuries to Tiger Pop either, because of the way that Tiger Pop will just notice this, take note of everything that you're not doing, and just run rampant if given the opportunity. soHn trying to just to defend against this onslaught of pressure, but it's Tiger Pop is going to go for the slump and is going to deal as much damage as possible.
Yeah, seems to be really focused on slumping at the for the time being. soHn does try to jump out, looks for a card deal, but the gunshots are just going to be anti-harrying him. Gonna go for a simple wall break here because it seemed to be very difficult for Tiger Pop to get up there. 3 bullets in the chamber, gonna use that burst to immediately set up some of that zoning. Super focus cancel, takes the opportunity of pause to quickly reload some more. Aggressive burst does find an opening here, but soPeter with the TK misfire, that will do it. Nice and clutch, able to tie up the set.
Yeah, soPeter's discipline on defense has really paid off for them, as Tiger Pop is trying to be more aware of the resources on deck, but isn't really getting to the getting into the gambles or the gambits that they've been wanting to represent so far. soPeter still surviving in this set, making this level of peace for this game 3. All important momentum swing here.
Certainly. So we'll see if soPeter keeps up the advantage that they have now, or at least the good vibes that they've been able to cultivate from the previous game, or if this is going to go that ever classic back and forth. And, yeah. And as you mentioned last week, right, your theory of the third game now at hand. We'll see how that plays out.
I mean, with EU, you can never really be too presently comfortable with the idea of like, oh, this is just going to be another washing, right? I've seen these situations too many times, both in NA and in EU, to believe that this isn't a constant.
So far, we see some good harassment here from soPeter, but the spacing is very careful and also able to just try and catch soPeter, blinking a little bit, looking for an option to challenge. Tiger Pop is going to end up eating a full combo here. No super for that Deus Ex Machina, but able to recover plenty of resources while set up that curse, but immediately the aggressive challenge with the RC from soPeter has Tiger Pop locked in the corner.
Very good control. I do like what soPeter's trying to do, but again, Tiger Pop afforded a little bit of space to really fight it out. He's going to cash out, and while I do agree with a lot of what soPeter's trying to do, representing that pocket of space, it's something I myself am very adamant in doing. Tiger Pop is one of those players where if you give him that little iota of space, they will take a mile.
Certainly. It's definitely these careful factors, especially in a resource-intensive character like Happy Chaos, that you have to recognize the space that is given to you and then know how to capitalize immediately off of it. But speaking of space given, Soap is giving none of it at the moment, already cashing up instantly on that counter hit misfinder for a super hard knockdown, put him in the corner. Oh, very lovely. And yeah, Tiger Pop just sees the writing on the wall, says this round is pretty doomed. We're going to hang on to that burst.
Yeah, if that perfect didn't really illustrate that point, then I don't know what else does. Gonna wait for the burst, and soPeter getting a little bit of a gamble, trying to get that burst bait off, but the positional advantage for Tiger Pop is now present.
Absolutely lovely aggressive burst now running. Let's take a pressure the patience. No more focus. Does backdash the misfinder, but can't do it all the time. Does find the reversal throw, however, and immediately taking a little bit of that time to reload the bullets. Slammed against the wall, 6 HS, no hard knockdown, but still positive meter bonus is a ticking.
You got a little bit of over-enthusiastic about the dash-ups. Just because it's 15 frames of recovery does not mean that you're not punishable by any stretch of the imagination, and Tiger Pop, recognizing this, is still on the offensive, is going to be able to have enough to take this game 3 and put themselves up in the lead once more.
Absolutely well done there by Tiger Pop. Still pretty close, and of course, soPeter not without representing that if you're not careful, can really take off half your limbs right there with just the sheer amount of momentum you can represent on Johnny and clean away even Tiger Pop with a perfect. Johnny rounds do happen.
Yeah, Johnny rounds do happen, but that doesn't necessarily mean that soPeter isn't exactly putting up quite a good fight. Tiger has had to represent quite a few tricky options just to put soPeter on the back end, but the defense on both sides has been very tremendous. We've been seeing a lot of the IB being represented in their defensive playstyles.
Certainly trying to push away Tiger Pop, but there's the Goomba Stomps. Dealing a nice grip of damage, already setting up for the next reset. Interesting use of the BRC, able to find the next hit thanks to the Elden Ring mix, but there's the challenge from Soap. Has that enough? I just want to press some 2P now.
Now just kind of bulldozing through. Tiger Pop, very smart to use the IBFD to try and get themselves a little bit of space, but soPeter was just awake at the wheel enough to be able to catch them going there.
Excellent PRC to be able to get the pickup there. Surprised to see not a super for the kill here, but has that meter to just cover for any other situations and gets that air throw there. soPeter 1 round away from bringing it to the final game possibly. Both players pretty close, well now equal on that burst gauge.
This is always the type of situation you always want to be wary of at all times. You're back against the wall, Tiger Pop on top of you. You can never have a little too much safety on deck, but Tiger Pop is going to get that wall break from so far away, getting that positional advantage as well as that positive bonus to really work with here.
Certainly looking a little doom and gloom here for soPeter, sorry, as YRC does put him to the corner, but sees kind of how rough it can be, is bold enough to challenge, because if you don't, that's just more Tiger Pop pressure you're going to hold, and so far it's being rewarded very nicely, to the point that even able to acquire the burst here off of Tiger Pop. So this is the last round. Oh, wait, the YRC was baited, but no punish.
Tiger Pop definitely saw this situation before. He's played in this scenario before and is recognizing the threat and was trying to get the punish off, but was just got too much height on it. Does get the 2K to seal that round out, and this is just set point for Tiger Pop to move on into the next round.
Yeah, however, it's not completely doomed here for soPeter. It's still sitting on that burst, whereas Tiger Pop has none already, and that already tries to use it for an aggressive style, but Tiger Pop not able to be stuck left in the corner still. soPeter able to find that TK misfinder with the card to extend. And again, another misfinder is being found thanks to the low hit.
Every mistake you make is always a costly one, but that is quite the nature of the natural born gambler. Gonna make Tiger Pop say that name out loud for the people on the back. Just trying to control the space. Tiger Pop playing very passively to try and find an opening.
Yeah, ooh, very nice catch on the backdash there with the close slash stagger. End up focusing more on the resources here. Tap does connect. Wall splat. Opting for the slump here. Regenerating some resources, but the deflect shield catching the 6K nicely. And thanks to the throw, soPeter is going to bring it down to a final game situation.
Well, would you look at that? Already the first game on stream, and we already have a game 5. How do we do it?
We do it EU style, very tight-knit competition out here in the top 8s. And soPeter clearly demonstrating he's a contender, especially against the likes of Tiger Pop, who is a very decorated player.
Yeah, there's hardly anybody that can replicate it much like Tiger Pop. Tiger Pop is a once-in-a-generation talent for the most part, but that's saying a lot too. For as potent and as strong as a player like Tiger Pop is, you always have somebody who's always going to be coming up, trying to claw their way up to the top of the mountain, and soPeter definitely wanting to test their mettle against one of the best to do it in this game.
Certainly, but currently not able to make left from right, as constantly the Elden Ring mix is coming out here from Tiger Pop, and now the close slash counter hit as soPeter is getting a little impatient, wanting to challenge, and that's going to be a perfect here in the final game. Going on to set point for Tiger Pop, both players will have their burst available.
Despite how things are looking right now, soPeter has come back from these situations before, but Tiger Pop's game 5 situations are no stranger to them. And this is where you really get to see how different and how dangerous a player like Tiger Pop is when you put them on the back foot.
Goodness, the backing away there, and Tiger Pop pressing that throw a little too early, and look at that. The slight error there from Tiger Pop has caused so much HP already, and the hard knockdown as well as the positive meter bonus. YRC is going to get soPeter off for the time being, but leveraging that life lead, you see soPeter just mash out, and it's going to be a double Luigi.
Sometimes you just gotta gamble a little bit. Sometimes you just gotta really have that confidence in yourself to be pushing forward. And it's been rewarded handsomely every single time. Despite Tiger Pop's potency, soPeter is still very much alive in this game.
I think they'll see already the momentum very much in Tiger Pop's favor. Gonna be scoring that hard knockdown thanks to Deus Ex Machina. Pretty clean on the resource, right? Full bullets, next to near full on the focus, and that's gonna be the gold burst. So could be getting a little bit of that burst refunded, but most importantly, has that full stick of butter here to mount a comeback.
Tiger Pop has to be vigilant here. Burst is on deck, which is perfect for them, but there's always the chance of meter being spent here. Just trying to maintain that offense. Does get the gun out. Very abrasive on the side of Tiger Pop.
Oh my goodness, look at this combo already. It's not going to be enough to kill here, but still. Ex Machina. Well, hold on. The scaling might have been too rough. Yeah, okay. Without that Wild Assault, possibly.
Does get the gold burst out again. It's the second time in this round that this was possible.
So Tiger Pop ending it a little bit on soPeter's style, right? Just pressing that 2P thanks to that health advantage, and the gamble paying off beautifully. And unfortunately, soPeter just so close to sending Tiger Pop down, will be sent down himself instead. And so that will be Tiger Pop moving on forward into the losers, so the winners finals, yeah.
I mean, if you lose to Tiger Pop, you lose in a game 5 situation, double Luigi style, is that really bad? Like, think to yourself about that. You took one of the best to do it in this game, one of the top, like, upper echelon of this game's history, and you took them to a state that many players wish they could do, or many players rarely can do. So to really shine in the way that they have, it's really saying a lot as a player to know that you can really do it in this stage. How, like, whether or not it's online or in person, at the end of the day, you took them to a Game 5 situation. In most cases, many people can only dream.
That's definitely the case. I think there's an aspect to that when you're on the up and coming, because certainly I believe that SoHn might have thought that way at some point in their journey at improving at Strive, like, oh, I'm getting so close. But now I think having done it before in the past and also tasting it so closely here, it does eat at you a little bit, where you just kind of look back at it, it's like, man, if I had just done this slightly differently, maybe played this a little another way, right? This really just can eat at you, and let's hope for them that it doesn't really carry forward into the loser side run, and they're able to make it all the way to get that run back, possibly in grand finals or sooner.
I mean, overall, you just gotta have that mentality that all things happen for a reason. You just gotta keep that up. You gotta keep that mentality, and you've got to keep that focus. You can't allow yourself to already be down the dumps despite the result not going in your favor, because you still have the rest of the run going for you. If you just take that defeatist mentality into the next round, you're already lost before you've even started. And they still have plenty of time to really rectify this mistake.
Absolutely. So as much as it is pressing buttons good, your mentality is what definitely makes you shine as a competitor.
Oh, we're almost done with losers top 8 with the first match. Just waiting on the reports for that, and we're basically good to go.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So good that we started such a way, and thankfully the match for between Tiger Pop and SoHn did go the full distance, so it gave definitely a lot of time for the loser side to catch up. So up next we will be having Mineion versus precho, and of course, as a reminder, because we did start on the later side of things, let's not forget about the matcherino. So do head on over there, claim these codes, support these players who are putting on this lovely. I mean, that first set already should have warranted plenty of codes claimed.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you see that kind of gameplay, and you don't want to really show love. I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, right? It's not obligatory by any stretch of the imagination. None of you are obligated to do so, but it does really help the scene. It does help the players. It does also really show the support for not only the players and the scene, but for also the TOs who really put on these events, who really do their best to bring out the best for everyone around. So by doing so, you are doing a very big help for everyone involved. So claim those codes. It's free money. You literally just have to click a button, sign in, claim the code. That's it. It's 3 easy steps.
Absolutely. So here we go. Precho versus Mineion. Goldlewis versus Zato-1. Curious to see how this plays out, because it can go pretty catastrophic if for either player, I believe, right? It's always the classic Strive that oh, why when I get my hands on you, you don't know what's about to hit you. But you can already see Precho trying to play it as slow as possible to possibly try and clip Eddie out, as well as maybe Zato on the tail end, because some of these Goldlewis moves, they hit pretty far.
It's also just the idea that they cover so much surface area. They take a lot of screen control. So the Behemoth Typhoon is going to be a very wary tool indeed, as it's a major part of his kit. But Mineion is on the prowl. They were denied very harsh in the top 8 slot to be able to get up to that space in the championship side of things when they were up against Potachu.
Certainly. Ooh, very nice pickup. And look at this. Half health already gone, finds the throw, has that level 3 security, so we got to be careful of those Behemoth Typhoon cancels. Nice setup for the tick throw here. Ooh, nice, beautifully done. Oh, and the bait on top of it too. Masterclass performance there.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, there's awareness on defense, and then there's just the awareness you have just for the entirety of the game. That was amazing stuff from Mineion. Just really dominating and really putting on a statement for Precho's return back to form.
Like, you know, you may be kind of nice at the offlines here, but in the online scene, it runs a little differently, and I'm here to claim my entry and my sponsorship for that head stomper. Mineion is going to keep running that pressure. The Zato feature is going to stay right in her face, but unfortunately, does able to find the bus out, catches this time might have caught the backdash, and oh my goodness, look at the hurt being laid on.
Is that the full rotation? Did they turn the butter? No, they didn't. But the damage is on set is so scary. Gonna get that meaty 5K and just stomp on his J's.
Nice J's. Come on. Let's not do that. Let's not crease it. 2P check, denying the leapfrog. So has to be a little bit more careful on the pressure here, though. But Mineion, where he finds an opening, and we see the Wild Assault committed to run that pressure as long as possible and run that Eddie meter as close as he can to full.
Did you see how much damage it did off of no Eddie Zato? That's actually insane to think. They had to spend all that resource to even match that kind of damage, but to even receive it is insane. Nice catch with the Behemoth Typhoon, recognizing that they're going to try and escape, utilizing the proper Typhoon to be able to control the space.
Brilliant. Opposed able to eat a couple hits from Thunderbird there, but still Mineion in a pretty back foot situation. You can see Precho already controlling a whole lot of screen. Air to air though. That close slash goes for the Sun Void instantly once that Eddie on the field ASAP to try and dominate this pressure. Our burst is beautifully baited, but can we match that damage like last time? There's the wall break, and there is the kill. Mineion takes that first game.
It's these little sequences that Mineion really just dominates in, right? They didn't get a lot of control of the game. However, when they did get the control of the segments and the tempo of how this game was going to be playing out, they have such great situational awareness. They have a great read on the game. And while Precho is playing fantastic, it's these little moments where you really just have to find yourself and really dig deep. And Mineion did just that.
Absolutely. So we'll see if Mineion can keep this up, or if this is going to be one of those really strenuous type of sets where you have to play so on the razor's edge, especially against a character like Goldlewis, who can represent a whole lot of damage if you're not careful. And that can exhaust you.
I mean, this character overall, the damage output he represents is just mentally draining, but Mineion is not afraid to really go toe-to-toe with a player of this caliber.
And it's already, we saw the second time that backdash was being used to be able to just briefly use the invuln to escape the Behemoth Typhoon. Sun Void getting that knockdown as well as Eddie back on the table and already finding the next hit thanks to the tap dust. Again, Sun Void, we do not let up on the pressure. Eddie needs to be healthy and happy. Make sure that Precho stands no chance to press buttons and escape.
Every single time. This was a thing that happened last week, right? Where a lot of the time Mineion was left without Eddie and was just high and dry a majority of the time in the top 8 run. But here we're seeing a very huge difference between gameplay, is realizing how important Eddie is and trying to do their best to really retain that defensive and offensive orientation.
Yeah, especially a highlight from that last pressure sequence that was all Eddie, because I believe Mineion was just trying to make sure that the spacing he was playing at was not in the range for a YRC that would both hit him and the Eddie.
Setting up on themselves. That was a really nice sandwich situation from Precho, but again, Mineion knows quite a few things about sandwich situations and is more than ready to go toe-to-toe and tackle such a horrendous position.
Cool Eddie. I have my own Eddie, my orbital laser. Still, Precho is going to have to work quite heavily here to close out this life deficit. Poe's able to eat most of Skyfish, but it's not going to be enough. And we see here Precho already closing the life deficit quite handily. But it's still going to be Mineion that finds the opening. An excellent mix-up straight into the Amos. And that is going to be the second game going to Mineion.
Mineion is just representing the best that they can really offer against a potent bruiser like Goldlewis here. And overall, it's really telling just the knowledge they have of the game, right? It's one thing to just do things, it's another thing to have semblance and understanding of why these things are done, and just to have a second nature in doing so. Precho having a very difficult time really having a chokehold on the game when Mineion just will not allow any swing of momentum.
Absolutely. Already we see the opening here from Mineion. Has Precho locked into the corner. Eddie still plenty of meter to his name, though not enough for the Sun Void, so no knockdown. A little bit of a variable situation here. We see immediately the Thunderbird deployed for Precho to try and control as much of it as she can before Mineion once again dominates it.
Going from corner to corner, just going to cash out into the Sun Void and manage to get the wall break just by a sliver of the corner being present. Again, just catching with those tap dust and just waiting for the burst, and Precho realizing this just decides that this round is lost. It's not worth it.
it is what it is. So here we go. Mineion on set point. Both players with their burst available, and immediately precho using it nice and aggressively, but had the corner space. Still, Mineion was able to get that oppose out in time to deny the challenge there from precho. And slowly but surely here, bleeding away at her health, trying to back away, look for a safe opportunity to deploy Eddie. Does find it. There's the opening. Gets the beautiful side swap. Wall splat, oops, sorry, and into the Sun Void for that hard knockdown and that Eddie recovery.
Way to just control the game that Mineion has been doing so far. I love it. I just love the way that they're really just testing the patience of their opponent, and it really shows how effective they can get when they really play with the mind of their opponent, just destroying any semblance of confidence available to their opponent going into this, and really just suffocating the life and draining them of any hope to really fight back. Mineion does show a lot more confidence this time around as opposed to last week.
Yeah, certainly. I think Mineion, even last week was still a good run, so we'll see how this goes for Mineion facing off against Tiger Pop next, if he's able to keep this beautiful run up, because he has been marked very graciously by Ice to be the second seed of this evening's bracket. So precho will be going down to the loser side, where she will wait for the winner between Revill and Zato-VaN to determine her next opponent. Equally, we have that's a name, soHn 1761 facing off against Resil for a chance to face off against Soap Eater.
Yeah, so they were a player in the Wild Tide. So from what I can gather, right, it is I think they have a Vietnamese name, but it's also been German localized. So I think it's soHn, like people say soHn. At least I do it. It's very awkward. I still don't really have the enunciation down to a T, but they are very, very interesting player. They're very fun to watch, and they really put on a hell of a show in the Wild Tide. So I definitely am looking forward to seeing how they fare up against YoKai's own Bedman Gapper, the Conquest there themselves. So we'll see how that goes. But we will have Revill versus Zato-VaN first, going from one Zato to another.
Certainly. I'm blanking what Revill plays again. I believe it was Sin.
I believe so too, if I'm not mistaken. I know we see Testament, but I don't think that's their main. I think they also have a plethora of other characters under their tutelage if necessary.
Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting on them to step on the plate and so we can see what character they have selected. Because, yeah, okay, it was Sin. I do remember. So, Sin versus Zato can get a little interesting because here we are constantly talking about characters and matchups where they are very much in control of the opponent and only reliant on system mechanics to be able to escape. But Sin does have that Hawkbaker for one to be able to escape some of these really tricky situations that Zato can leverage thanks to Eddie. But additionally has these really long-range buttons, including Beat Driver, which does mean that Revill can really be the conductor in a lot of situations, but I think Zato-VaN not too interested in allowing that.
I mean, the other thing you got to really represent too is like overall how much mileage Revill is going to get by comparison with the way that system mechanics just benefit them overall, right? Just Sin is the whole package right now. He has everything going for him system mechanics wise, damage output, conversion ability. He just gets so much mileage off of everything nowadays as opposed to like his strongest iteration before this back in Season 3.
Absolutely. Beautiful air throw though. I was going to bring Zato-VaN back down to the ground, gets a nice close slash confirm here, and just look at the damage immediately. Taking a slight, more significant lead actually, and also with the time barrel gets that knockdown. No more stamina to his name, and that's going to be the YRC out there from Zato-VaN though. Full stick of butter to play with here. Beautifully done. Red RC cancelled fast thanks to the 5P, and immediately that frame kills for the throw.
Again, knowledge on deck. You definitely see that from the side of Resil, but understanding when to press is also a big skill to have. Just trying to control the spacing trap him off of the non-cancelled elk hunt, and once again, just really putting Zato-VaN through their paces.
Given no quarter, immediately gets back in there the moment they're pushed out. Beautiful little combo here is not going to be getting a wall break. Even worse still, Zato-VaN does find a throw to put them into the corner. tries to deflect shield, does connect to the Eddie, but I mean, Eddie still being in your face means that the pressure is not over for Zato.
Yeah, just because you have deflect shield didn't necessarily mean that you're going to be dealing with anything less than the full worst and might of Zato-VaN. But Revill is still doing a fantastic job. Zato-VaN just getting that little bit of an edge on them, using that, as I like to call it, vanishing into dark just to get that throw off.
Really breaking the law out here, aren't we? Ooh, beautiful 50-50, just crossing over to the other side, making it that you have to switch your block to deal with whatever Eddie is throwing out behind you. Great back dash, able to avoid the throw. Yeah, that too.
Right, by hell. Just swinging. Look at Revill. Revill is brave. They really are playing Sin with the mentality that they should be, which is just all guns, all blazing, but that perfect does seal it out. And this is so funny. We've seen this time and time again, where the player of who wins the first round isn't the player who wins the final round. It's always explosive start, weak finish.
Yeah, that's very interesting how that functions out, right? Because like it may also be a fact of the opposing player being a little slower to the take and might have to sort of reacclimate themselves to the new opponent they're facing off. So that does take a minute to sort of rewire their brain, get it ready, and as well as at the same time try to observe and collect data on how your opponent likes to control the character that you're facing off against.
Revill is on the prowl, does burst on the 6K, and rightfully so. Despite the low priority on that button, it still does a huge grip of damage.
2K able to be active enough to catch Revill out of that PRC. However, Zato-VaN is in a pretty dire spot here. Is looking continuously for an opportunity to challenge out, and now we finding pokes, and no, pressing into the oppose, not the way you want to do it. It's just like that. Zato-VaN is able to close the health deficit, maybe even take an advantage here thanks to the Sun Void and his wall break damage.
Yeah, I think Zato-VaN has finally picked up on the fact that Revill just wants to be doing something at all times. There's no desire greater than the need to press a button at given points. Even if it's not always often, at the very least, we could definitely see a player being proactive at all times. And Zato-VaN doing a good job of just playing around that and just playing mind games with their opponent to give them that false sense of security to really fight back.
I didn't pay $60 plus DLC to block. And fortunately, that's what you're going to have to do and do well if you want to survive Zato-VaN's pressure. Sun Void is going to get a hard knockdown. Eddie's back on the table. Air to air. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, again,
5B.
just Zato-VaN is really just showing a lot of spatial awareness, and it's just the knowledge on deck, just really playing with their opponent, controlling the tempo like a maestro. Revill is just playing into these games, and there's just really little resistance to be shown here. Despite the explosive start, it feels like Zato-VaN has gotten all the intel they need. It's just a matter of closing things out and making game 3 their own.
Certainly. So we'll see if Revill can finally make one stick onto the board or not. Zato-VaN is just going to walk away with a landslide. Opposed does eat the big driver, finds his way in. Elkant. Very nice. Plus frames, tick throws. All good stuff.
You can never be too sure. While you can throw that because there's no reason why it should be staggerable, it's still very scary as a threat overall. Revill, very brave, just going for the full run-up, learning a lot from the Kisuke family.
Absolutely. We see Revill here definitely trying to play as fast as possible before Zato-VaN can get wise, and unfortunately now given the opportunity, and look at that damage. My goodness, Sun Void coming out, no wall break, but still stuck into the corner. YRC baited, and I don't know why Zato-VaN didn't take the opportunity that was perhaps looking for burst somehow. Nevertheless, right?
I think it melted both of their brains. I don't think either of them were ready for it, and I think just Revill's brain just acted on instinct. They just pressed buttons and hoped for the best, and it actually worked out for them in their favor. Zato-VaN not wanting to sit back and just wait for an option. Oh my god, this is actually such robbery on deck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of it is robbery when you accidentally do the wrong punish against Hawkbaker, so well deserved here for Revill. Trying to use the IBFD to push him away, but it's not going to quite work out there, as Revill is well versed to commit the resources to keep the pressure going. Beautiful float mix there. And now dragging Revill towards the corner. Trying to use as much FD to push him away, but it's not going to be enough as Zato-VaN puts himself on set point.
Yeah, that's the scary thing, right? Is like you can never take anything for granted against any of these players. Revill is trying their best to really show their stuff, but it's starting to look doom and gloom here. There's a lot of resistance going on now, and the positive bonus definitely makes things so much better as burst is still very much a far cry away. Does this actually kill?
Ooh, no, oh my goodness, a pixel.
I was thinking because of the clean hit.
It could have been. It could have really been, but I also just like that Revill went into the time barrel as soon as he could, right? Wanted to deny the option of burst from Zato-VaN, and it worked out so beautifully. So Revill confirmed, hashtag not free, right? Able to put one on the board here. So we'll see if there's a more deeper adaptation available, or if it may have just been a lucky stroke against Zato-VaN.
Yeah, maybe like just because, yeah, you either a flash in the pan or their second wind or their dying gasp, as they like to call it. Before anything else, right, you take your losses, you move into the next game, and just keep that lead as best you can, as Zato-VaN has been doing everything in their power to just suffocate that momentum.
Goodness, there's a disjointed pressure that you have thanks to being a puppet character, right? It means that a lot of times you can put yourself in a defensive position, just holding that down back while your little goober is doing the work for you, and just sets up so beautifully for burst bait. However, Revill able to find a nice opening, and thanks to the RTO, getting that wall break already has Zato-VaN locked into the corner, setting up these throw loops, a little bit of that Street Fighter action.
Okay, there is definitely something going on here. I didn't think Revill was just being reckless. I thought Revill was just being reckless here. No, Revill has just, something in their mind has changed. Their confidence for some reason is unlike anything I've seen. They're just running into the fray with no fear in their heart. It almost feels like in their mind they might be winning.
Visualize, oh my goodness, that, even the game, that pause was freaky. Just holding, able to throw him from behind? Surely not, but anyways. That is Zato-VaN now, stuck in the corner. Red RC wants to keep that pressure going, finds the low, quick couple touches there. Beautiful air back dash, finding that late overhead. Keep that final one touch there. RC and the wall break will do it. Just look how fast Revill's playing. Says, I have fully awoken, and we are bringing it down to game 5.
Oh yeah, something definitely awoken in his Revill here. There's definitely something in the waters for these keyscape players, man. And I think right now we're definitely seeing that second gear being pushed into overdrive. There is no greater confidence as a player to just go from the biggest deficit you can to being back into level situation, but this is where the pressure really rises now. It's what can you close it out? You've gotten that really huge burst of energy and got the wins necessary, but can you get the win that matters?
Yeah, so far, locked into the corner. Zato-VaN is in control. Opted to play it a little slow, looking for these burst baits from Revill. Ooh, very nice. 5P, getting the anti-air on the float. Dragging him as close as possible towards the corner. Stagger pressure thanks to the stamina. Good throw tech. Both players trading, but Revill sees how good of a situation it is, and he can't just give it up. Immediately challenging in the tire and barrel for the knockdown, as well as getting that positive meter bonus.
Revill, I think, has recognized more than anything, right? After getting baited this many times, after witnessing a lot of what Zato-VaN has been trying to represent, which is this very burst-safe, heavy gameplay, it's definitely now gone to a point where Revill has actively gotten so many beneficial interactions because their opponent is opting for resource baiting playstyle.
My goodness, what a call out. Believing that Revill might be a little hasty there on the wake-up answer. Instead, just sets up the pose in his face, and beautifully done, will be rewarded with a set point position here. Already dealing great amount of damage. That's going to be the burst, this time unbaited by Zato-VaN. We're both looking for a hit, and it's going to be Zato-VaN. Invite hell. Eddie is back on the table, but the run-up throw says, no, my turn.
No, they've been in this situation far too many times to start getting caught by this over and over and over again. Revill is gotta be brave, and they're doing just that. But look, again, Zato-VaN is playing way too aggressively around the resources, but this time they do get rewarded in the end, but doesn't get the kill.
There's that final hit, it seems, as Revill does fly in, keeps the pressure going. Patience here from Zato-VaN, knows not to be too hasty. As he's just letting him do the work, and as soon as he recognizes the run in there, it immediately punishes with the throw. So Zato-VaN closing it out comfortably, or not so comfortably, but beautifully on that 3-2, and keeping the run alive.
Yeah, that was definitely way too close for comfort, however, and if you're Zato-VaN, you definitely gonna want to reconsider some of your approach here, as their opponent has quite literally been baited, has been basically witch hunted the entire night. They have been doing a fantastic job of putting their opponent down and just taking away every pivotal resource, but for some reason has had just ample resistance to really combat all of this. So if this is what's happening with the player who you're actively controlling the neutral game with, what's to come if they start dominating the game?
Who's to say? But for now, we'll have to let that mystery lay to rest, as we'll be having soHn versus Resil coming up next. And I'm curious to see what soHn plays, as Resil we're all familiar with on that Bedman, especially that Bedman 2P. Ooh, that's going to be a fun one. See if that can be leveraged this, because Resil has a good habit to just say, you know what, it's time. We need to just mash out of this.
Like I just pull up the top 8 right now just to see what's going on. And soHn is got a meme profile. This is definitely not helpful. Oh, wait. I think I remember who they play. I think they play Johnny.
It's Ramlethal.
Ramlethal, my bad. Yeah, I remember this specifically because soHn reset the bracket on Resil. So this is definitely a little bit of a grudge match.
Who took it over? Who took it at the end?
Resil did. But my god, they definitely put one hell of a show and put Resil through their paces. And it was a run back set from winners finals as well. So they won it. They reset the bracket in grands, but Resil, just being the ever stamina heavy player, able to run a marathon, just took their set in the end. So this is another run back set for both of them here to possibly make it into the top cut, the top 4.
I see Ice asking me to teach you how to read soHn's name real quick. I don't know if I've been saying it right. You wrote it down, and I've been trying to pronounce it, so I assume I did it right. So you wrote it as Z, like Z-O, and then a slight space, so you emphasize the end, so soHn.
It's like soHn.
Okay.
Oh, soHn. Okay. Yeah, so it is a very yeah, it has like a very Vietnamese enunciation to it. I have a friend who's from Vietnam who has a similar name.
Well, going to be doing a good grip of hurt here already. Resil significantly on the back foot, trying to backdash away, but you see the size of these swords. You know how far she can reach with those.
Oh, I definitely am very familiar with the range of this character. It's one of the biggest reasons why I play a lot of very box-to-box heavy playstyles against players like this. But it's not about me, it's about the two people who are on deck. And again, both these players, strong in their own right, have very potent options to display, and Resil is taking control, does get the final counter hit necessary. This might actually be enough to kill if they can route correctly. Never mind!
Didn't really have to do anything special, just vaporized Ram. My goodness. So round piece to both players. You see the jump in, and again avoiding the low challenge there from Resil. Hasn't already locked into the corner.
Resetting with Dwayne. Just resetting with Dwayne the Rock, and now we're just going to move forward using that deflection to try and gain some space. But once again, Resil getting caught by the absolute rinse repeat reset gameplay that soHn has been showing off so far.
Yeah, he tried to go for a funny shimmy there to get the throw going, but Resil spacing a little off, sadly, but nevertheless, seems to be in a really good spot. Tries to go for the reversal super, it does find its mark, so a little bit of a breathing room here. Even control over the pressure game for the time being. Resil's trying to find these upper openings. soHn has that enough, goes for the YRC, try to be pushed away, and here's the zoning gameplay. We all know that Resil can play if necessary.
And the thing that makes this so scary too is that both these characters are very well adept at playing in the skies, but Bedman as a character just plays it so much better. And overall, the way to really control this is if you can just control the ground game, and soHn has done a fantastic job of it, taking game 1 to really reward their efforts and putting the momentum in their favor for this current point in the set.
Absolutely. So beautifully done. We'll see if Resil is able to mount a bit of that comeback, because man, that second round was sure something, especially that damage. Oh my goodness. So a bit more of that, and we can see ourselves and not have another game 5 set. But for now, Zone in that lead with 1 game.
I mean, I always
keeps up the momentum.
I always like to say it every time, and I tell it to Resil sometimes. I like calling the every time Resil does the install, I like to believe that they're morbing out. Yeah, it's a morbing time, and you bet your ass on commentary I'm gonna be saying that every single time I get the chance. But again, overall, if we want to talk about things that are really important right now, the biggest thing Resil has been doing thus far, and has been doing it very consistently, is burst early, burst often. And when you're a heavyweight with that much health, it usually can benefit.
So far, it hasn't really worked out too much in Resil's favor. Great use of the sword explosion for the pickup and the super to finish it off. Zone on that landslide performance at the moment. No play opportunity given to Resil at all, though an exit back reaction is going to cut that short, but immediately the aggressive burst catches. Ooh, might have caught the wild assault there.
Did actually. They counter-hitted the wild assault right before that frame 9, and it couldn't have come at a better time for SaltyEU here. Putting them into a wall. It's the max range confirm as well. Going to be able to put themselves in a very nice spot, and my god, they are controlling the game.
Oh, it's going to be Resil's turn here. Ooh, had a bait on the super, but too much meter to side. Zone is able to be able to be safe. Both players looking to be in control of this corner situation, which it is currently to Resil's name. Someone trying to dive out, but the deflect shield says get back there. Still, it is Resil zoning, despite being the life disadvantage. But the deflect shield not going to work out favorably, as Zone is going to take that second game.
Oh wow, yes. There's definitely a lot of confidence brewing from SaltyEU here, as when these two initially fought in Wild Tide, it was a little bit more passive on the side of SaltyEU, and Resil just being a lot more dominant. But despite everything Resil has really thrown at them, SaltyEU has just been all aggression and all confidence from the opening gate, and is more than ready to take game 3 to move on into the next round.
Unfortunately, I have to do the call out. There you go.
I love that. I love what SaltyEU is doing. I love the way that they're using FD break. It's a very traditional tool that a lot of players used back in the Xrd days. And just to really reduce the momentum of their dash and the recovery, just to really throw on some stagger stepping to get the throw that they need.
Certainly, both players about equal here. Beautiful anti-air there from Resil. Gonna try and drive Zone as close as possible to the corner. Does find it willing to trade there, but has to be careful now, right? One mistake. Ooh, never mind. Beautifully done. Crossing over to the other side, making that explosion effectively a 50-50. Though still 100 meters to the name of Resil, and we see him go Morbid time.
Oh my god, that carpet bomb just melted their health bar with ease, just shredding it like Swiss cheese. Bars.
Smell napalm in the morning. Let's go. More explosions. It is Zone now getting that half health deleted off of Resil, as well as that wall break. Possibly Meter Bow is ticking. So Resil winning a brief combo there. It's going to be extending as much of this one as possible to drive Zone into the corner. Goes for the Morbid time. So 100 bar to Zone's name, but big opener. Has to burst out.
Oh no, burst might be on the cuffs. No, just luckily the discipline was rewarded here, but does get caught by the crossover, and this leaves them on set point. My god.
Yeah, smart from Resil there to not use the burst too hastily, right? You might some do look at this position and be like, you know what, I can't burst here and try to make a win. This is a pretty good spot, but Resil says, you know what, we'll just take it to the next game, even though I'm so close to being knocked out of the bracket and currently just being so dominant on this corner pressure. The Biscuit fully cranked to red, so one misstep here, and that's going to be massive damage here for Resil.
Oh yeah, this definitely could kill if they had just 50 meter on deck, but there's nothing scarier than an opponent who is running in with nothing but confidence to their name. Does take the game with a perfect, and that does give Resil a little bit of lease on life. Things have been a little bit rough for them, stumbling over themselves in the neutral game, but giving themselves a point on the board could definitely be a nice breath of fresh air after being on the back foot for so long in the set.
Right. It's 2-1 for Zone.
Yeah, you have it flipped. Look, I love Resil too. I'm not that biased.
I see you slipping some bills to Ice, being like, yo, come on, do it for the YoKai Brotherhood. Let him up. Give him a couple extra points. 10 points for Gryffindor. You know what I'm saying?
Ice. Can you flip it when no one's looking? Just really quick. It'd be
Really quick.
It'd be really funny.
I'll be like, oh wait, didn't Resil win? What?
It's like, whoa, Resil won? No way.
Certainly not.
I would have never believed it.
Oh my goodness. Well, already, you know, as much as we joke, Resil off to a great start here, looking to get that, you know, make fiction fact and trying to put himself in a winning position, working very hard to make this a fast game 4 win. Already activates the Morbid time. Big laser does connect, and look at that. No quarter given.
There's definitely a lot more precision and a lot more calculated decision making on the side of Resil when it comes to the use of the install, as opposed to just throwing all options available to them. They realize that maybe they can afford to slow it down just a little bit, lest their opponents start taking a little bit of false initiative to really take control of the game.
Absolutely, though. A little bit on the back foot here, still opting to just zone out for the time being. Does invite Zone to play a little bit more of a closer game, and it's going to cost them as... Oh! Safe? Punish. Very nicely done.
To not far away enough that they don't get the full punish, but close enough that they're still going to get punished regardless, and that is something you always have to take into account. Is just going to try and go in for the pressure sequence, does get the throw off from the whip jump in.
And just like that, gets a little wrong there from Zone, and it's going to be all tied up to a piece.
You know what? I think we're in a situation where we could take that time to address the audience. If you love this game 5, how about you, like, we should probably do a little something funny. How about you claim those Matcherino codes, really show how much you love this game and love this set in particular. Claim those Matcherino codes. It's a 3-step process.
It would be so awesome. It would be so
cool. It would be so cool.
It would be the greatest thing ever done.
I love that meme.
Yeah.
The comedian autism in me activated. You activated my comedian sleeper agent.
Good to know. I got the sleeper cell code.
The geeker cell.
The geeker cell. I'm geeking, bro.
I'm geek.
Geek versus locked in.
You know what? I'm just gonna call it that. From now on, it's no longer Morbid time. It's geek install. I'm geek Delilah. I'm geeking. I'm neutral.
Oh my goodness, but guess who's, while Resil may be geeked, locked in is Zone, who wants to get a little bit of that snapshot from before, where they were running the bracket, where they were running the set, right, having that early 2-game lead. Already getting the air throw, says no, who said you leave the corner? The backdash though, to be able to escape the close slash, and immediately reversing the situation at the screen position. Resil now trying to find that opening thanks to the stagger pressure. We see Zone so desperately trying to block them away. Trading.
I mean, no one wants to get hit by the god hand, let's be real. But the reversal is huge for Resil, just getting them the pivotal amount of space to really get away from there. But overall, back to the corner we go. This is a familiar spot for Resil, but it's not doom and gloom just yet. They're both trading at low life situations. Baits the burst, but no punish.
That's a lot of resources committed. Thankfully, Zone is able to win it, let alone with a round to spare should Resil mount a more stronger pressure game here, right? Because you do have that security to try and build up a burst gauge for a final round situation if it does come to that.
Yeah, this situation is very scary, right? Does get the wild assault, is going to get the full pickup off the charged god hand himself. Now we're just moving into the next situation. We are in the Oval Office and just trying to find a way to really get ourselves into a good position.
Just look at putter to Resil's name, finds a beautiful counter hit, goes straight into the geek mode. And just double supering, showing him all the swag, all, you know, the full tension spread on his arms. Says, look at this. Look at his damage.
Delilah, watch me hit this drive real fast.
Here we go. A great opening, but the bed fall, able to navigate out of the corner as well as get a beautiful pickup here. Now it is Zone stuck into the corner. Big old guard crush pressure. Just try to jump away, but jumping back only lets you go so far. Burst baited. The super, it shouldn't be enough to kill.
Yeah, hit him with the deadliest dap-up known to mankind with a pixel of health left over, but just like that, the reverse 3-0 is what seals it out. The bed continues to gap. Conquest himself is moving on to the next round.
Doesn't even get a name, only a title, so that is, so, you know, Salty Runback is going to have to stay salty for Zone, and nevertheless, right, making it into a top 8 finish. As I'm not sure if this was their first Salty or not, but an unfamiliar name to me. So whether or not it's their first or returning after a long time, a top 8 finish is nothing to be ashamed of.
I mean, I've never seen their name when I was commentating more regularly for SaltyEU. So, and like, it's a name I just started seeing in Wildtide as well. So. I'm akin to believing that that either they're a returning player or they're a player who's been really putting on a hell of a show to really get into these positions. Getting top 8 in a SaltyEU, from what I can gather, is no easy feat. So to really put on a show and to really, again, go toe-to-toe with one of EMEA's strongest in a situation like this, again, it's no easy feat, and it's definitely to be lauded. So good stuff, making top 8. It's been a fantastic show.
Absolutely. So taking a look at the state of the bracket, up next we're going to be having Precho versus Zato-VaN. Zato-VaN earlier we saw being sent down. No, we didn't see him get sent down. My fault. It was eliminating Revill in a very close set. So we'll see how this goes. Precho, now I remember, Precho was sent down, as a matter of fact, by a different Zato player, that being Mineion. So we'll see if that has any sort of influence going into this matchup. Whether or not Zato-VaN also paid attention to what Mineion did and was like, maybe I should do some of that myself. Scratches evil mustache.
Scratches waxed out mustache, thinking about deplorable things. Moving on, Zato-VaN versus Precho. We saw what one Zato player did to Precho. Can the other replicate that success?
Absolutely. Already a really aggressive opening. Just that dash up 5 feet says your long buttons does not have any of that. Tap does. Ooh, we see a backdash attempt, but you know, these buttons quite delayed. Will end up catching that beautifully, though. Put into the Thunderbird. Zato-VaN does not want to give any space to Precho. Says, you know what, we ballin'. Thunderbird be damned. I'm pressing. We trade, and I want my turn back again. 5P.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to gamble with Goldlewis Dickinson. I think the damage output has put enough heart attacks on display, has sent enough people to the ER. I think more than anything, Zato-VaN just wants to finish it and finish it early before Precho can really get any sort of momentum mounted.
Oh, nice XP, able to get that upper body info to challenge, but we see the instant aggressive burst there from Zato-VaN. Wants to keep her locked in the corner, and will do so very nicely. So 1 round away from that first game win.
Nice, gets the round start far slash, and is going to get the knockdown in tow as well. No burst on the deck to save Zato-VaN here, so you're going to have to feel a full brunt and girth of that damage output.
Absolutely, so a good start here for Precho, though it is Zato-VaN currently in control of the pressure game. We see the challenge attempt. Oh my, what?
What is this, Street Fighter? What a hit confirm.
Yo, damn. Yeah, I'm speechless. Holy, okay. Around the piece to both players. Zato-VaN started off nice and strong, pushing Precho into the corner, tries to go for the backdash, but swooped straight into the shark-infested waters. Oh my.
Can we just go back to that? Can we just like cycle back to what Precho just did? That is the equivalent. That is like the Goldlewis equivalent of like Kensei's love tap, where bro does 5K into RTL. That was so cool.
It's insane work there, but oh my, we see Zato-VaN has had enough. Big old Hail Mary button, crazy mixes ahoy, but Precho currently able to navigate around it. Does eat a couple hits. There's the drills, but no major confirm as of yet for Zato-VaN. Has to be careful because we are running out of that Eddie gauge. Still, oh, Mogus.
That drone is gone. Just trying to whittle down the health, but no Eddie and no resources. Oh, you are going in for a ride, Sunshine. It's time to go on to the bizarre adventure that is this season.
Oh, the check.
Yeah, it was.
The check was so beautiful, and then your throw attempt gets backdashed.
Oh, that's terrifying. It's always so sad, right? You do everything right, you still lost in the end. That hurts the soul. That hurts the soul. You passed the check and you still lost to backdash mash.
Only insofar as like you could do everything right, but your opponent might be doing it righter.
Like I went right because you left. I went left because you didn't do me right.
There you go, Skyfish being immediately pulled out to just gun away Eddie. Nice pickup, a little damage. Unfortunately, doesn't get the full extension, but the pain has been dealt. Backdash being clipped out here. Zato-VaN trying to maintain as much pressure as he can without Eddie on the table. RC for the conversion, but a little too greedy on the corner carry there. Is not going to set up for the full combo. But immediately, Skyfish again. No shadow demonic creatures on the playing field, please.
No more shadow. No more vanishing into dark. Die.
Please be gone. We do not support demonic contracts here in the United States.
We here in the United States do not support eldritch creatures from beyond the depths of hell. Be gone, Satan scum.
So Zato-VaN not taking too kindly to that statement now, starting it off pretty aggressively here, looking, finding up a couple stray hits. No hard knockdown, wasn't able to find the super just yet, but still the meter will be instead expended. Safely just set up Eddie, try to push up pressure of Precho into the corner. Thunderbird, but the leapfrog, beautifully done, able to catch her just before the Thunderbird connects, goes into the shark infested water, RC maybe for the kill. There it is. Excellent.
Yeah, once again, the Pog Frog getting a lot of mileage for Zato-VaN here, just pogging out for all to see, and you love to see that snapshot. I love that Toad so much. I hate playing against it, but I love it in gameplay.
Commentary seat is so warping of things that happen in the game. On one hand, you're like, wow, this is truly evil setup, delicious. When you play into it, it's like, this is foul. Ugh. Who let you cook? Why is the food burnt?
Get that man out of the kitchen. That man cannot cook for shit.
There you go, nicely done already. Zato-VaN, throw, RC, and that will be the kill. Second game to his name. Already, we're seeing a similar showing to Mineion here. Precho having a really hard time dealing with Zatos.
I think this Zato character might need to get shot, just for fun, just for fun. You know, I don't know what it is, Yucker. I think this Zato champ needs to get himself kneecapped. I'm just saying, it might be a thought.
It might be a thought. What if we removed Eddie? How will Zato play then?
What if we just took out Zato and left Eddie?
Oh, true. Yeah, you just play a little Shadow Demon with his very limited set of moves. Although that being said, right, I know several puppet character players who will look at it and be like, oh, I just have my puppet. Bet that's better than my main character. Mogus just down there, needs that final hit to close it out. Burst available. Precho not able to use the RC mechanics to get in close, and it is going to be set point currently for Zato-VaN. Jump in here. He's going to be doing a great bit of hurt finally. Trying to look a bit more like a Goldlewis round, but unfortunately Zato-VaN was able to deploy the oppose before she was able to get more damage going. And again, oppose eats through the Thunderbird. The mix-ups are being leveraged. Still Precho not too pressed, hanging on to the burst for the time being. 6P challenge. Eddie is gone, but still we see Zato-VaN not letting up on the pressure at all. Full stick of butter to play with here. Does find the next opening. Burst is still available. Goes into the Amorphous for the wall break. But running a little low on the Eddie gauge. Has to be a little bit slower. And just about going for half instead. Tap does connects. RC. Yeah, desperately looking for that burst, but Precho hang on to it as late as possible. Skyfish, look at that chip damage, but Zato-VaN says, I need to hang on to this RC. Does use it to quickly push in. Eddie deploy, good block on the tap dust, stagger pressure, patience, FDing away, while also good throw tech counter hit. Needs that final touch to close it out. PRC underneath, throw tech in the air. But the Eddie deploy will find the final touch. So for those wondering where Kappa went and all that, the internet crashed apparently. Did you see someone talk about car from hit games of science fiction? Maybe.
EU wins again, baby. Our internet would
EU
never
doesn't
crash.
True, we got that infrastructure. It's so good. Just don't go any further from than West Europe. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Doesn't exist. No. Ignore that. You know what we have on stream in just a sec.
True.
That's Western Europe. SoBeater and Resil. A bit of a team kill. Unfortunate in the losers bracket. Still be a very, very good match.
It depends on the flag that that SoBeater operates by. I believe that this bracket they're running indeed the Ukrainian flag, so it's going to beat that country team kill. Although not necessarily YoKai. I have seen them fly the Dutch flag, which is cool. It's pretty poggies. It's pretty poggers.
Oh, cool. How did the event go actually?
Yeah, it went pretty well. A lot of people were really happy. We actually were on time with every single bracket, surprisingly. And there was a lot of lessons learned, especially in the prepping phase of the event. And I think we had a lot of grace from our attendees to forgive us in some very small things that didn't go quite smoothly. Like some of the new PCs we had organized had like a bit of input delay such that it felt a little awkward. Kind of like how you have a weird sort of a little bit of awkwardness when you switch from PC to PlayStation 4. So you just kind of need to sit behind the setup, play a bit, and then you felt right.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, that's a kind of a failing because, you know, PC to PC, there shouldn't be a difference.
Yeah, I think that's actually why you tend to go with the consoles as well, even though there shouldn't be an issue, like difference. Like PCs are weird, man. I swear.
Yeah, I mean, in that regard, it's because we were trying something different. Where we're trying to use a Linux distro that's a worked off version from Steam OS, to give a bit more of a sort of console feel to this. That's good. So you don't need a keyboard or mouse, whatever, to control the interface. And I think we were missing a few settings here and there that could have definitely optimized the experience, because any of our Windows laptops, right, people are like, yeah, this is running great.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, even, you know, for local events, stuff like that, and now this was even bigger, right, than that. I think there's a lot of work that goes into it that people don't really realize. Even when we have a monthly event for, I think we usually have about 50 players there. It takes a lot of work, actually, setting everything up and creating schedules, making sure everything runs on time.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, mapping out what's going to go on stream, what's not going to go on stream. How do we make sure, you know, players don't overlap too much, blah, blah, blah. Even for like 50 players, right? That actually takes a lot of work. And let me tell you, for Headstommer, man, that's a whole other doozy work.
I can imagine it, like being able to peek behind the curtains, especially having that first-hand experience with our own event. It's I already had massive respect for TOs, and now, you know, it's double the case for anybody that organizes one of these big international events that has, especially the people that put together themselves to be as a tour event for one of the different games they're running, right? Just the level of responsibility that's involved in that, because not only do you have to put on a great event for people attending it, you also have corporate overlords to answer to who are looking at you to put on a quality event. Because if you don't, and you want to try and get them on, trying to be on their tour next year again, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, SoBeater was in the room. Oh, both players are out the room. All right. Alright, we'll just try again. Maybe I have to remake the room, I guess. Is this the time of the week where we remake? Oh.
Has it been so far? Because we are moving through this bracket pretty swimmingly, all things considered, right? I think we have the right amount of to 3-0s and going to the final game type sets.
Yeah, it's not that late still, so it's good. I guess to anyone here, because now we have players being confused, which is funny. Of course, next Monday, we will be on the Twitch front page, and one thing we already always does, but it hasn't happened really with Strive, is that we always sponsor some players to go to Headstomber. The way it's gonna work is that we're gonna have a qualifier on Monday. Depending on, because we're also going to do a little bit of a crowdfund, it's going to be minimum 2 players sponsored, and it's going to be sponsored in the way that I will personally pay for the stay Friday to Sunday. I'll get a hotel or something. I'll book the entire hotel, because I'm a TO, so I got that kind of money. Yeah. I'll give them the tickets, of course, sponsor that, give them a nice little shirt. And then they, they'll have to organize transport, but I would say that we do some crowdfund as well for that. That might be able to cover it as well. So we'll have to see about that, but that's not guaranteed. So yeah, but almost a full sponsorship, right? For a couple players. So it should be pretty interesting. But speaking of interesting, here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to start off nice and aggressive. Both players looking to leverage some of their longer range buns. We see SaltyEU fishing for these misfire hits. Beautiful backdash, able to avoid the throw, but an aggressive burst already being put out there. Wants to keep Resil locked in the corner.
Absolutely, and there we go. We see Resil kind of taking the consequence of that, just using that early burst. But again, SaltyEU is the one with agency here.
Certainly. Just backing away a little bit. Trying to leverage a bit of that life lead situation to force Resil to perhaps approach an awkward position now, though has him trapped in the corner, getting the throws out, card on deck, wire seeing just before the mix-up comes out, so beautifully done. JS to the bedfold confirmed, pushing Soap towards the corner. Nice, finds another opening, not able to get the full extension though. Misfire back down to the ground, card set. It's a guard crush pressure going, and oh, what a scoop. Oh no, what a drop!
Yeah, and I was about to say, right, Resil really good at finding those little holes in the offense, but somehow, some way, dropping in the end. And SaltyEU, not one you can't really drop stuff against. They will absolutely take their chances.
Trying to chase him down at the time being... wonder what they went for there, but whatever it was, Resil was waiting with that JHS, now stuck in the corner, looking to FD, get a bit of that push block going, right, as well as reducing the chip damage. Would suffer otherwise. Strike throw. This time it is throw. Beautiful combo thanks to the RC. Not going to be a hard knockdown with no super, but still positive meter bonus is going to be a Tekken.
So much meter here, but wait a second. Again, this character, this player, Johnny SaltyEU, so scary. Going to put Resil right in the corner again here. Let's see. Resil can figure out a way. Nope.
That was a bit of an awkward hit there, because did the misfinder, though it didn't connect with the card. So technically it was within Resil's position to challenge, but Resil looked at that, at what happened. So I'm like, wait, surely the card connects here. What?
Ooh, what a count hit. I'm gonna get the burst, staying alive, alright. Hopefully that's really low, but it is SaltyEU. Gonna connect.
Hey. Oh my goodness, the counter hit, you're able to get that pickup. Beautifully done there.
Yep. Absolutely. So good stuff there from SaltyEU. We get that first game on the board here, but very, very close first game, and it says to me that we are in for a banger of a set here.
See how it goes, right? Because I think what's been really interesting as of from this evening is we do have a lot of 3-2 sets that occurred, but most of them have gone the way of like a really strong opening and then just the comeback happens.
Literally onwards, and again we see SaltyEU here really good, right, using Johnny's very, very long normals, long specials to control neutral, but again I think Resil just somehow finding a way around them all the time here.
Absolutely, Bedman's without his own really long normals to challenge with here. So SaltyEU, plenty of resources to their name, able to constantly get an advancing state and the pressure continuing. Card is set, looking for that final hit, backdash away, 5P, disconnect once again, card set, and again the backdash though. It's a repeatable situation where Resil backdashes off of the card and immediately tries to go for some response. There is soHn with some form of anti-air to deny it.
Yeah, and here we go. You do not want to be in this situation. And yeah, soHn agrees using that burst, saying, you know what, let's go back to neutral for a little bit. But it is just Resil again. Oh, what a throw.
Oh, excellent reversal. Tries to go for a throw again, but the TK Finder is going to bait that out instead. Shoot the J. What's his name? Jeremy.
Jeremy? Damn.
Jeremy. FT jump throw, step the card, guard crush, TK miss Finder, trying to bait out the burst, but no biting, and although Resil will do it a little later, goes into the geek mode.
See if that install does anything here. Ooh, that is so much damage. Wait a second. Oh my days.
Ooh. Oh
Juggle?
my, that's...
Damn.
Yeah, that was painful. It was looking really good soHn, and then, oops, accidental nuke.
Yikes. So I feel like Bedman, for some reason, the only character that can go into an install and actually win the round. It's not allowed on any other character in any other fighting game. There we go. Gonna get that wall break here.
Good amount of damage, hard knockdown to play with. Also the pause meter bonus ticking. Oh my, what a throw bait. Just dashed up, stared him down. And that's gonna be the second game going to soHn. So beautiful advance. Now the question is, are we going to see a bit more of the trend that we've had this evening? Resil making potentially the 3-game comeback, or is soHn here to make a statement? I am second seed, that there is no time to be wasted. I need my rematch against Tiger Pop yesterday.
Yep. Let's see, right? Right now it does look like soHn on that juggle is the storm that is approaching loses semifinals, but we'll have to see. Can Resil bring it back, as you say? It's gonna be difficult, man.
Ooh, big wild wall assault, and yeah, soHn just gonna be going for the burst instead, cutting the advantage of Resil's short. And into the corner for the time being, sets up the card, does catch, gets that guard crush.
Half-Life already lost here.
We'll see, yeah. 5PA, just make sure that they don't escape you, are sent back to the ground. Full stick of butter to play with here. Crush yet again. Deflect shield, tries to go RC back in, but the push block was a little awkward there, so Resil now able to take the turn of his own. Keep him right in his face. RC, the pressure isn't done yet. Float mix is going to open him up and does have the super to connect for that hard knockdown.
Yep, and there you go. Just gonna send out the bomb, staying safe. Oh, we again see soHn right. So good using that throw defensively. This time though, Resil had the correct read, and yeah, 1 round on the board here.
Don't look like Resil might be able to do it, because that last round started off so confidently, though it is soHn now. Well, does challenge, says no, it is still soHn. Find the throw, push him back towards the corner. It's all about that screen space, maintaining that corner pressure. Wall splash, shoot the J. What's his name? Jeffrey.
Go downstairs here, just going in, establishing that pressure. Not a lot of resources here for Resil to fight with, but somehow, oh no, what a whip!
Can't believe that connected too. Oh, yeah. I think it was exclusive because of it being a whiff punish, and the 50 meter there to be able to RC, get the finishing touch required, as soHn now puts themselves on set point.
Yeah. All I'm saying is no way you're getting that whiff punish on a 60 Hz monitor, man. That was a 240 Hz minute.
Real young person reactions into the optimal equipment. Though, react as you might. Currently, the blinding pressure is coming out from the geeked install. Good luck seeing through all of these explosion particles. soHn is put terribly on the back foot for the time being.
Oh yeah, soHn in a bit of trouble here. Trying to get something started, but it's just all Resil right now, stuck in the corner. You do not want to be here. Nice YR, a PRC there. Continue, and yeah, as you said, Resil on the board now with 1 game, and that's kind of scary looking at previous matches.
Certainly. So only a matter of time will time will tell now if trends are to be believed. Will Resil instead take what could have been a very confident in the bag game from Soap Eater and instead make it his own victory? So here we go, game number 4. Already we see Soap trying to take a more defensive approach. Unfortunately, they get clipped out by the JS. Opting for the early burst. Wants to put him in the corner. 6k, both players. No burst now, though. Here's Resil that is trapped in the corner.
The throw. All right. Good damage here on the board. Ooh. You know, sometimes you get a mix, and you don't expect your pressure to hit, and then you drop the combo. Kind of look like that.
Luckily, like, it depends also what kind of pressure you're running. Sometimes you go for a pretty high committal mix-up where it's like, let me throw a button, you block it, and I set my mix-up, but then you just get hit by the button, and the mix-up isn't really a proper confirm into that. It might even whiff, and you end up in a worse situation where you kind of just look at it and you're like the invincible scene where it's like, I thought you'd be stronger.
Yeah. Gonna get a big counter hit there. Ooh. Nice confirm into that super. We're gonna take that trip downstairs, and it is looking rough for Resil now. Oh my days, dude.
Yeah. Oh! It's about sending a message.
Yep. That's you know, saying, you know what? No comeback for you. Get it?
No John, please.
Yeah. No Johns this time around.
No Johns.
And
right, so
you know, that's what happens, right? You know, Resil very good, of course, at applying the messy guesses here, but still, I feel like it was just very, very good. So either, you know, I feel like, I guess both players being Ukrainian, I bet they've played a ton against each other. We're playing level 5 mind games at least. Yeah, showing there.
Definitely, I know Soap Eater definitely chases the competition for their own sake, right? Their own improvement in the game, and coming from seeing them when I initially started doing commentary work here to seeing them where they are now, on the, you know, being really highly seeded, as well as taking some big names, has been a really impressive work. So for now, we're going to put a little bit of a damper on our loser side adventure, as we'll be taking a return to the winner side. Going to be seeing Tiger Pop versus Mineion for a spot into the grand finals. Winner side seat.
So one interesting thing about this one is that, you know, of course, Tiger Pop actually one of the players with a actual factual true sponsor. Meaning, you know, won't be able to get a SaltyEU sponsorship. Mineion, on the other hand, got 3rd place last time around, so is sitting on 50 points, which is pretty much in the safe zone, I would say, is in the safe zone now with a guaranteed at least 4th place. So yeah, we got, you know, at least Mineion will be moving on for the Monday finals if they are willing to join it. So.
I think you're looking at the situation where Mineion is qualifying, also showing up, making a grand return recently.
Yeah.
And it's almost like probably the last person you'd hope to win for financial reasons.
First. Let me just you have it.
Oh, there.
Little pointy man.
Little pointy guy. No.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you mean by financial reasons, Shocker?
I mean, you're gonna have to buy a ticket for somebody to fly all the way from Greece.
Oh no. Well, I'm buying the hotel.
Okay.
It's only well, we are doing a crowdfund that will help cover travel.
All right. Well, crowdfund's gonna be a big old amount, because it's gonna be from one end of Europe to the other.
Yeah, I think it's not too bad. Maybe it is. Who knows?
Depends on the timing. I feel like, because I'm keeping my pulse on this, especially because I'm very interested to go to Kodo. That event has only been improving year after year, and also recently being included into the Tekken World Tour has been a massive achievement for Kaiser, of course, putting together this event. So supposedly, right?
Well. Crazy.
Sorry, yeah. Just like I think the funniest story that was told to me about that event was one of the other TOs, the Outplay TO, being like, yeah, like Kaiser would be around and he'd be telling everybody like, yo, you should come to Kodo. We'll be Arc World Tour next year. Come to Kodo. And it's like, bro, never heard of this event. What's this all the way in Greece? How the hell are you Arc World Tour? Come a couple months later on the Twitter, you see Arc System Works going like, yep, Kodo is a gold event for Arc World Tour. It's like, what? It's like, that guy got crazy motion. Well, guess we're all going to Greece.
Yeah, I mean, as an event, you usually, I would say, know a couple months before if you're a World Tour event.
Yeah, but you keep it under wraps, though.
Yeah.
The way he was talking about like months and months and months in advance, like he was a Nostradamus or something.
Yeah, it sure has been a TVT stable, and this time around, of course, being that master event, making it very exciting. It's also one of the events I actually wanted to go to. Always running into TO at offline events. He's always saying, please come to Kodo. Like,
yeah, so I definitely want to pull up. Yeah, especially because it's like this is a good year for me to travel. So all these events I normally catch from stream, I have a chance now to check out myself, make myself a little short list of the bangers to put to to definitely make it a repeat visit.
That's actually Ryanair from Greece to Copenhagen, so it's actually pretty cheap.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, one of the trips is gonna be kind of bullshit, but it's actually pretty cheap. Good.
Yeah, the key is always timing with these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not planning your event on Easter.
Yeah, the lesson learned. Right? Another rookie mistake there.
It's like, oh, cool, public holiday. Yeah, surely everybody can benefit from this. No.
I mean, here for Easter, it wouldn't be that much of a deal breaker, honestly. It's more so that we have a Easter dinner with the family where we go and eat a lot of food and get drunk. And that's pretty much all we do for Easter.
Fair enough. But here we go, Tiger Pop versus Mineion, and already interesting choice there from Mineion, able to catch Tiger Pop trying to jump over him. Goes for the snatch attempt, but to no avail. Tiger Pop ready, and he immediately throws out the Elden Ring mix to put the Mineion in the corner instead. Ooh!
Absolutely. Ooh. Alright. That gunshot.
Bang, bang.
Tap 5D. This guy, Tiger Pop, such a wizard in the lab. Again, often see him after patches, stuff like that. They're just, in there figuring out a bunch of new offensive stuff. When it was looking kind of bleak for Happy Cares, they just went in there, they figured out, well, how can we actually mix in this season, and then, quite good.
Yeah, definitely looking very excellent here. Although I did really like that earlier interaction there from Mineion to just break the law, glide all the way in, and Tiger Pop just kind of looking like, well, I can't shoot the floor, can I?
You can't with that attitude. No.
No. You have a magic gun, man. Come on, lock in. Nice bit of stagger pressure. Ooh, I think might have mistimed that the gunshot on the cross up, so Mineion giving a little bit of a lifeline. YC does come out. Eddie is deleted. Good block on the Elden Ring mix. Stagger pressure, running very low on the bullet. Still using the gun flip plus frames to keep the pressure advanced while the Salt sets up for one more reload. Stagger pressure, full red risk. Has to be careful. Mineion does actually brave a mash to escape and will take a round for himself.
Yep. One here. Again, pretty excited to see Mineion back. I feel like in this region we have to have at least like 2 active top Zato players at one time. And they kind of just swap places. And sometimes it's Mineion, sometimes it's Sechi, sometimes it's Zato-1. Sometimes it's Shinky, and so it goes. Ooh. Right now we are in that minion Zato-1 era. Whoa, the tap 5Ds.
Yeah, it's the Deus Ex Machina. Will it be enough? Probably not, but still down to a final hit situation here for Mineion, and also plenty of resources for Tiger Pop to play with, and immediately the Elden Ring mix there to close it out. First game going to Tiger Pop.
Yeah.
I think what's also very interesting is how similar these two characters are, despite all their differences, right? Because the real way for me to look at Happy Chaos is nothing other than a puppet character. So instead of having a little goober on the screen throwing out big old drills and clapping and turning into a giant frog, you just have a gun. But effectively, it achieves the same function of you get to press button, something else happens where you safely recover from pressing a button into being able to press another button, as well as being able to set up for mix-ups, strike throws, and in Happy Chaos's case, you also just have that roll to be able to just get through. It says, you know what, 50-50 time on demand.
Yeah. I'm not sure that one's going to hold in court. Nah. Your Honor, please. It's just a puppet. It's not a gun. It's just a puppet.
You have to understand, it may or may not be a sentient entity.
Get that very aggressive burst here to just push Minion back in the corner again. That's something we see from these high-level players, right? Is what a bait there. But just the fact that you're able to use the burst not only defensively but also offensively, right? Such a valuable little small thing in your toolkit.
Yeah, a lot of times when you start seeing this burst mechanic, you're like, hey, this is great. I get to deny them a combo and try again in neutral. But sometimes you look at it and be like, I could take this hit, but man, this screen position is so good. I want to keep him there.
I don't want to go off Mr. Bones' wild ride, but instead, here we go. It's going to be Tiger Pop getting that curse ready. Oh, that was a whiff throw, and what a whiff punish.
A beautiful shimmy here going into that Deus Ex Machina. Beautifully reloading all the bullets. The focus is maxed out. The hard knockdown though. He does have that burst available, so a lifeline to his name, but I think we're just going to see him hang on to it, as it is now a round apiece for both players in the second game. Perfect for Tiger Pop as well.
Yep. Knock that Eddie away here. Oh, what a throw tech. But it is again Tiger here. Ian bursting, saying, you know what, I had enough. Get Eddie out here and let's cook. Burst.
Yeah, rather not, but backs away from the throw. Beautifully done. Gets that secondary overhead to connect. Going into the funny break the law there. Wow. What a challenge when Tiger Pop says no cheating, no Eddie on the field, and immediately use the RC to confirm off of it. Splats against the wall, and the gunshot will be enough. Tiger Pop takes game number 2.
Yeah. I like that as well, right? You get the wall splat, you have how many 4 bullets left. You get the wall splat. I better reload 1 bullet before I shoot, you know, just to be safe, even though I have 4 bullets left.
You know, it's hard to get off good habits, you know. Yeah. You never know if I think you may have been surprised that might have killed, or half expected it, kind of just looking at it like, I mean, scaling not too crazy, could kill here, but let's just be sure we're not in the final pixel situation with 1 bullet less.
Yeah, it's always good, right? Definitely. Roll through there, and that's an early burst from Mineion.
And still, you hate to see it burst into still being in a pretty rough situation. Does block the tap dust, but however, very easy for Tiger Pop to set up the strike throw situation. Put it to the corner, also making sure to reload in between the approach. Foot sees the spacing, beautifully done. Focus up. The Deus Ex Machina connecting into the reload, as Minion's gonna have to hold his hard knockdown while Tiger Pop is just maxed out on all but 1 resource, right? That detention, but that is instantly riding up and immediately being used to set up for a mix-up. And tap dust, fake out with the PRC. Evil.
There we go, pressuring in the burst coming out here from Tiger, running in now. The roll mix connecting as well. All right, good little walk-up throw.
goodness, the stagger pressure on the side from Tiger Pop. Just the knee pump into this Deus Ex Machina. Not going to get the wall break, but still recovers the bullets. Going to go for the gold burst. Get off of me. I need my time to play. Does smack away the Eddie. Says, no, this is between me and the Zato. Baits the wire C, and Tiger Pop just on a landslide going to be making it to that grand finals winner side spot, sending Mineion down to losers finals.
Looking very, very solid again today. Tiger Pop, of course, coming off of that victory last week. Just trying to replicate the feat here. Yeah, that means we are up next with Zato-VaN. We're up next with SoHn. Pretty interesting matchup.
Hope you haven't gotten enough of your Zato action. Or, I don't know. I wonder if Zato-VaN prefers Asuka, because I'm not quite sure how I would evaluate that matchup, because just the fact of like misfiner alone, and then you have also all those really long buns that Johnny has. It feels like it could be quite tricky to safely deploy Eddie, almost to the point that anytime you would deploy Eddie, it'd have to be the oppose.
Yeah, but in the same vein of things, right? Isn't it kind of rough for us coupling those matchups where you can just get your cubes, knocked away from full screen?
Yeah, but I think it depends on the cube, right? And as well as Asuka, a lot of the gameplay is in fact cubes. Yes, there are other options that you can kind of cheat out with, and we do see here indeed that Zato-VaN is hovering the Asuka, so we'll see how that plays out. Is it going to be cubes being swatted away by big old sword normals, or is maybe actually the speed behind the startup going to be maybe a limiting factor that does allow Zato-VaN to set up comfortably?
Yep. It'll be interesting, and right now it is Zato-VaN with a lot of pressure on the board, and again, got to remember, right, these two have fought so many times that I assume also a player, matchup-wise, it makes sense maybe. You're thinking, all right, maybe my Asuka has been working out better against SoHn, but there we go, missed final. Scary.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what option you leverage here. So Zato-VaN unfortunately sitting on some really awkward spells. Ooh, and the mana break needs to be extra careful now. Might be prompted to burst, but 6k connects, does go for what's arguably a hero burst. Still in a mana break situation, so not able to access the spells. Does stop the approach there from SoHn, but still very low on health. A little bit of a stuttering, but still it is going to be SoHn closing out that first round.
Yeah. See here. Gonna have not much left on the hand here. We're gonna refresh, throwing out the QB. Man, I remember that patch. That's good times. Ooh. So we don't
good times
get the throw.
Mana break too. Yeah. Be careful that doesn't get opened up here just like that. Oh my goodness, look at the damage. Might have thought it was Potemkin on the screen.
I'm gonna refresh until we are happy.
Sweep.
Oh, just get counted. Yeah, that's it. GG.
Yep, boing.
Oh, no,
no.
Oh,
no,
I was right.
Do mine.
I was right.
Getting that OTG in the end, right? Beautifully done.
Yeah, I'll never be wrong.
Veteran commentator, veteran bracket runner, the seeding.
I knew that
immaculate.
was gonna happen.
True. So we'll see if yeah, it's gonna be sticking to the Asuka. So indeed, there's something to the matchup that does respond favorably to Zato-VaN that I would assume he doesn't quite see with Zato himself. And we do see these moments where indeed SoHn is locked down to the cubing action, but might be RNG not too much in the favor of Zato-VaN getting the right cards he needs.
Again, I can't remember right. Even though we always talk about the cubes, stuff like that for Asuka actually does have some pretty good long-reaching normals.
Yeah,
that might also be a benefit in this matchup. But right now, again, it is all SoHn. There's no mana left. Yikes!
Yeah, isn't it enough with the mana break damage as well as the wall break?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, who am I kidding?
Army.
Joseph. 26k there, but didn't quite work out. Now trapped into the corner, Zato-VaN. And that classic Oscar pressure, right? Throwing out a bunch of cubes, immediately shuffling in the next set of spells. Going for a full mulligan here. We already see the red cubes activated, and my goodness, look at him already. That teleport was evil.
Absolutely. Alright, just gonna set up. Gravity Staff here, not gonna work out. Mistfinder gonna make sure that Zato-VaN gets none of that. Just into this corner, not a lot of mana left. That's gonna be once we hit ground floor.
Damn, yeah, mana break. Hard knockdown still has the burst available, so we do have 1 second chance left. I.B.A. FD pushed away so far. Now we're looking for opportunity to get an opening here. That's going to be the ground throw. The mana kicking back just in time. My goodness.
Let's say 2-0 lead now here. I wonder how we going to swap now to the Sadi, right? Sato. It's been a long day.
The Zeddy, bro.
Yeah, the Sadi. Damn. Yeah. No, we're just going to stick to Oscar here.
Yeah, so the way it's going, it's very likely to believe that it could be even more catastrophic were Zato-VaN to pick Zato. Because otherwise we would have seen the swap much earlier. And we're looking pretty good here though. soHn just on point, getting that throw tech. Unfortunately, it's going to be opened up the moment I'm singing his praises. Makes me look dumb. Out there by Zato-VaN, denying a bit of that stagger pressure. Gonna be mulliganing right in his face, looking for the ideal options to keep the pressure running. Good stuff here. The patience from soHn unfortunately gets opened up briefly, but not out for the count just yet. Tap does connect. Not able to connect the 5P, but the air throw says, who allowed you to leave?
Zato-VaN getting around here, showing signs of life. Gonna get thrown. And it is all soHn again here. Eesh.
Very nicely done. Ramlethal, the Senga Buster, jumps in, though immediately the challenge there from Zato-VaN is going to make it a little awkward, but still stuck into the corner. Gets the knock up from the card. Is Senga in to shoot the J. What's my name? James. Jesse. And James. And yeah.
FD for their life here, but it doesn't matter. The Mistfinder is gonna turn this into a set point for soHn. Wanna go into that Lucius Finals, where funnily enough, a Zato will be waiting.
You are gonna get your Zato match, thankfully, but currently Zato-VaN not wanting to be count out just yet. Oh my, never mind. It's going to have to hold this for a minute as we're going to see the J being shot once again, this time as a reversal option. Running a little low on spell instead, sending out the super cube. It does connect.
Trade it though. A little bit fortunate there, maybe if you're soHn. Oh, yo, eat that.
Double meatballs, shout out to Head Stomper coming to Sweden.
Yeah. Raining meatballs right now, and that is going to be Zato-1. One on the board. I would say there is a actually a mall right next to the venue of Head Stomper that has a pretty good food court. Ton of different food you can get. Affordable pricing. Tasty.
Can I get the authentic Swedish meatball?
I think they might have one Swedish place.
Alright, damn, that's unfortunate. That's always the interesting thing about going to a country with their own cuisine, is that in these malls and stuff, they want to introduce different cultures because everyone's kind of tired. They can make Swedish food at home.
Yeah. I don't think usually for that, like if you want Nordic food in general, I think you have to go to like almost like not a pub. That's probably not the correct word for it, but something like that at least, like a older establishment. It's always very nice.
Like old heads hanging out. Play some Xrd there while I'm at it.
Like a cafe. Usually. Yeah. There we go. It is going to be that cube connecting air to air, and we are going to mulligan for an entirely new hand. We're just going to get all the cubes in the world.
Look at this. Oh my goodness. Teleport too. Good luck seeing that though. Unable to get the finishing touch. Has no mana to his name. And this is looking... Oh my, mana break. No, never mind. That's a round just thieved from you. And Soap Eater once again set point.
That is, again, just the unfortunate reality, right, of this character. You mess up, it's just like Nago messing up, really, right? Suddenly you have no mana, you can't cast any spells, and you don't have any life.
So this is a good start here for Zato-VaN, able to just mulligan away, get some new cards going though, running dangerously close on running out of mana, finds the overhead, doing a lot of good damage, teleports into the corner. Soap Eater is ready, however, trying to use the tension bar to withstand the edge hit damage, shoot the J, not close enough. So a lifeline for Zato-VaN.
J not strong enough to beat out that cube, but gonna get the first blood here of this round, sending Zato-1 to the corner. Just FDing for their life here, but it's not gonna matter. Good luck. You have no mana, you have no burst, you have no nothing.
Just hold this hard knockdown, and all you have to your name is your own wits. DH decides to play it secure and safe, push blocking an attempt to get Resil, get Soap Eater as far away as possible, but it's not gonna be enough. The mana break damage is just too potent, and Soap Eater with a perfect is gonna close it out 3-1 over Zato-VaN.
Absolutely, so looking very, very solid there. That means we are ready for our top 3 now. I think, you could get the authentic Swedish pizza experience of the authentic banana curry peanut pizza.
What?
Yeah.
I could maybe see the banana, but then... You said curry peanut butter?
No, just peanuts and curry and banana. It's a classic Swedish pizza.
Don't let the Swedes in the kitchen. No. Don't do it.
They can't cook. They can't cook.
They do not ever let them cook. What is that?
Voltan. Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, Voltan's very like any Surströmming enjoyer, so that's not a good start.
I mean, I would, in the defense of Surströmming, I never had it, right? And I don't intend to ever eat it. But you are supposed to open that can underwater outside. And I think I've never seen in any of those YouTube challenges, I've never seen anyone actually prepare it properly, which is supposed to be underwater.
The thing with it is that, like, it being unprepared improperly, right, where they just crack the can open and that pungent odor just leaks out with a little bit of spray of the pressure of the like the tin can, right? That's the challenge. So, and you just want to see everybody have that gag reflex. Honestly, that's what somebody's going to do at the events, being like, yo, I got this can here. Who wants to catch a whiff?
I mean, traditionally, we have had some grudge matches where, like, some of the looser things would be, like, eat Surströmming. Like, we had an Italian guy last time, very traditional from Naples, had to eat, I believe it was banana pizza. Yeah, had to eat banana pizza, and it was so funny. He hated it so much.
They get him. Speaking of getting them, we see kind of why maybe Zato-VaN was hesitant to be playing Zato against Johnny, as the Mineions had no opportunities to really deploy anything as of yet.
Yeah, again, we just see, right, Soap Eater just completely dominating here. I don't know what Soap Eater had for dinner, but looks like something's changed. The latter part of the bracket.
Possibly so.
Probably so.
Okay, tap does connect. Gonna go for the Sun Void here to get the wall break, as well as the Eddy gauge filled up. Hard enough to play with. Safely deploy the Eddy. Pushed all the way into the corner. Does find the low. Immediately faking out the tap dust overhead with the PRC. A little bit inspired by what Tiger Pop did earlier. That's gonna be a clean round towards Mineion. All right, so not all doomed for the Zato character.
Yeah.
Ooh, very nicely done. Oppose able to challenge, or more appropriately, eat up the very long range tooling of Soap Johnny. We'll be holding this hard knockdown off the Sun Void. Eddie Gage fully refunded, safely deployed. Gold Burst to just delete Eddie. That is spiteful.
Absolutely spiteful, but it's not gonna do too much here, right? The BRC to get that throw. All right. Now we're stuck in the corner. Minion here in a bit of trouble. Say my name.
Jonesy.
You Jonesy? Man like Jonesy?
Man like Jonesy? Yeah, maybe.
Coming to headstone, but by the way, gonna get that burst. All right, staying alive.
Oh,
dude, so many buffering for their life, man.
Nah, that was just an evil ass teabag. I rate that.
Yeah, I love when you can see just squatting from full screen. Oh man.
I can appreciate it in Guilty Gear because I believe there's no like very extensive animation for you to go from standing to crouching.
Yep.
Unlike in Central Fiction where you almost have to do like a Korean backdash just a teabag. But it's a good go-to sometimes. You know, you're sitting there comfortably with your life lead. Your opponent is standing on the other side, being all frustrated, being like, "Grr, this is not going my way." And then you start doing that, and they get really hasty to just want to shut you up about it. It's like, nope, you fell into my stupid trap.
This time, oh, Eddie with a little shimmy there.
Yeah, Eddie can be nice with it too. Something. Oh my! The backdash from the Wild Assault, beautifully setting up a complete reversal of situations. What that side swap now? All that screen position you have gained, it belongs to me. So beautiful.
That's just why I see you're gonna get the throw.
Nope, back away, Eddie. Between me and Zato. Crush pressure, the TK Finer. It's gonna be Soap Eater. Another round up. Minion hanging on to the burst, and Soap Eater very close to their own.
Yeah, just gonna again trying to get something started. Could be. Oh, okay. I wonder what that was for. That definitely didn't work out. And that's a lot of meter now for Soap Eater. 2 whole sticks of butter. Gonna convert one of them into the super.
I think Soap is also just like looking at the situation and has noticed several times that Minion hasn't been able to deal with the TK misfiners, as it's been basically a free opening. Also, hold on, Garfield. You had burst, Garfield. It's okay though. We save it for the next game though.
I feel like we've had the Strive Lobby bug thing happen a lot today.
Oh, it's happened about we had like that one time that Soap and Resil couldn't really connect.
Yeah.
But other than that, it has like I think this is the second time we've had a bug, and
yeah, it's
they're already back into action.
The replay bug where I have to press X to move my arm to press my controller. I can't believe it.
Oh.
It's been there since season 1, by the way.
The controller.
Also that, yeah. We're gonna get Froggy fresh out there, and it's gonna be that burst here from Soap Eater. Now, not a lot of resources to play around with. Big counter hit.
Yeah, vaulting a little too liberally here is actually instead setting themselves into painful situation. The Sun Void. I think that was a reset hit there, so a little bit of unscaled damage. That will do. Push into the corner. Eddie keeping the pressure running. Sun Void says we go again. Tap dust. Nice blocks. Unfortunately, you can't block them all as Minion keep playing the first round in game 3.
And, you know, we can talk about matchups as much as we would like, but any character, you put them in a corner with a, you know, a very, very good Zato player on the other end, it's not going to be easy. Right, we still have that Zato factor here, and it's going to be Soap Eater again stuck, this time in a different corner. Using that Wild Assault to get out, though, very smart.
Yeah, the fade away does get the TK final. Unfortunately, the card does not connect, so once again, the card not connecting, not getting all these extended combos that they would like to see. Great jump away there from Minion, sets up Eddie behind. These crazy mix-ups, and you can only block them so many times. Unfortunately, not getting the full finishers. However, has Soap knocked to the corner. Amogus being thrown out. Down to possibly the last hit here for Soap, and that will do it. Minion going to be putting one on the board.
Yep. There we go. So maybe Zato is the answer. This match.
Maybe.
Surely.
I think definitely what it's important is you don't let Johnny get started at all. And you say, like, you know what? How about you stay stuck there? How about that one?
You know, why don't you just do that? Why don't you just put your opponent in the corner and mix them for the entire game, right? It's just that easy.
Yeah, just don't get hit. Mix your opponent all the time and maintain infinite pressure. I have solved Guilty Gear Strive.
I'll forgive you, Voltan, if you come to headstun, but spend the super here.
Boom. A lot of damage, and this round even without being all fancy with the TK misfinder, the round was pretty much written off there by Mineion hanging onto that burst. Ooh, what a beautiful air throw.
Yeah.
Good start.
SoBeater here on another set point, and there's just something about SoBeater being up 2-1. That third game, I don't know what it is, but or fourth game rather.
Yeah.
But that's really just been pretty much every single game they played, right?
Yeah, like it starts really strong, and both these players are like, "Oh, I'm starting to notice a bit of a trend here." But see if Soap can buck that, because you know they are sitting on that set point, so only a matter of finding a couple more hits. Tries the back away, but there we go. Mineion not wanting to let up any space at all. Lets the Sun Void rip. Wants that Eddie meter back as well as that hard knockdown.
A little bit awkward, right? Didn't get that much damage or anything, but ooh, the jabs coming out, and just that Eddie. We are potentially gonna tie up the set here, but let's see. SoBeater, of course, has other ideas.
Great opener. He has Mineion locked into the corner. Misfires forward. Mineion ready with the guard. Does chance for the 2S. Quick falling JK is going to send Eddie back to the Shadow Realm. Soap now has Mineion locked once again. Trying to advance forward, but still the spacing. And Senga Buster. Big opener. Yeah, Mineion, you're going to have to burst that one. Very smart.
Dash in. Think about it each here. PRC. And it is Hurdens for Mineion. Another third place here. Definitely still impressive, right? 2 third places in a row.
Sometimes, you know, it'll get to you at some point, right? Always bridesmaids, never the bride.
Yeah, a little bit of Groundhog Day here, especially because you have to fight so hard, right? Just to get, of course, I say just to get. Because third place still very impressive, but you do have to fight so hard to even get to this point. Can't be stated enough, right? How difficult it actually is to make top 3. So it just feels, you know, it feels rough. Again, you know, you can be happy, of course, that you have qualified for the finals. So rest assured, there at least that. Next week, there is a spot waiting for you.
With that, we are going to go into the final, well, possibly second to last even set here for this evening. Tiger Pop, Happy Chaos versus Soap Eater Johnny, and already a very aggressive opening. 2S into the Wild Assault. Getting those double throws. The damage is piling up. The low misfinder, the burst. Baited, the wall splatted, and the wall broken with the super. It's going to be the hard knockdown. What a momentum here for Soap Eater.
Perfect. Again, SoBeater just with all the momentum in the world, it feels like. Wow, this bracket. Again, it was the final round last time these two fought. Definitely expect a very full set here as well. Nice confirming to that super. We're gonna take a trip downstairs. No, we're not.
Unfortunately, when he lie, just find a throw and double perfect. Oh my! Soap Eater just coming out the gate swinging with a statement here, and I think part of the factor that might be to his favor is coming right off the heels of a previous game. Right, it's all warmed up, whereas Tiger Pop having to wait a little bit due to the privilege of being a winner. Means you do get a bit of downtime, which can affect maybe your performance. Some people really like their losers run because it's just back-to-back games, and you're just constantly staying in it. Other people really need that break on the winner's side. So question is, does Tiger Pop just need a bit of a moment to start up again?
Yeah, I mean, Tiger Pop is so experienced, right? That they're gonna adjust. They're gonna adjust.
Yeah.
You know, being a very experienced competitor, you can also say, you know what? Yeah, sure, I lost that first game. It wasn't close, but you know what? It can happen. It's skills get tried.
So, Guilty Gear Strive, it's Johnny. The Johnny rounds happen. Happy Chaos rounds happen. We learn to move on.
Let's see, losing 3 rounds in a row, which were almost 3 perfects in a row. Now we start to maybe sweat a little bit. Think, okay,
yeah. You want to move on from the loss, but you don't want to move on to the afterlife. Beautiful loop. Good focus. Gonna get the Deus Ex Machina, so we're good. Good on the focus amount, but you know, full clip to play with.
Burst from both players, just gonna, hero burst here from Soap Eater, gonna get that Deus Ex Machina out there. Title up.
And you said round apiece to both players here in game 2, equally on the burst as well, but immediately the Wild Assault being used does find the hit, and Tiger Pop says, I need to burst this, we need to get out of here right now. Run in. Soap Eater, ooh, duff! Big ult opener. Can be juggled all the way to the other side of the screen, straight into the Deus Ex Machina. Is it close enough to the wall though for the wall break? It will be. So that's that full clip, half focus, and hard knockdown, as well as that positive meter bonus ticking down.
Go. Get the finest out there. YRC had enough, but you know what? I got burst. Doesn't matter.
I got burst. We go again. Finds a quick opening. Deflect shield away. Banger, head stomper, some might even say.
Down hit.
GRC, beautiful mix, trying to desperately push block away. It's not going to be enough, and Tiger Pop does find that victory. Is going to be taking that second game, tying it up 1 apiece.
1 piece is real, and yeah, that's what I mean, right? Again, not deterred being, you know, down early. Who cares? It's a long set. First to 3. A lot of time to adapt here, and yeah, all tied up. Another good game between these two.
Absolutely. Fighting games is a game all about resources. You can definitely always break it down to resources. So at the end of the day, all that matters is it doesn't matter how many rounds it takes, how many games it takes, or how much health, as long as you win 3 at the end. Beautiful spacing, getting the gunshot, punishing the approach there from Soap Eater. Side swap, put him closer, managing carefully, right? Just opting to go for some really small hits here, just instead prioritizing the resource recovery. Just like that, constantly opening up Soap Eater will finally deal the killing blow here in the first round of game 3.
For the first time in this set, it's going to be Tiger Pop in the lead. Breaking down. Bonus. Gun here. Big counter hit anti-air.
Beautiful head stomper. Here we go. Deus Ex Machina. Reload all the bullets. Should be close enough to the wall for the wall break. Half on the focus, but we should be regenerating that a little bit as we jump in there. All the meter bonus is ticking, so we're getting close to that 50 meter. Baits out the super, but there was so much resource in the side for Soapy to make it safe. YRC weren't leaving this corner just yet. 5P anti-air. Oh my goodness, and the careful pickup too. Endo. Pixel have to play with
here. Hero burst, we just have a YRC. Bro, okay, wait a second. Oi, oi, oi.
Beautifully done. Ready this time to deny the Elden Ring mix-up with a throw. Round apiece to both players, eager to extend their lead in the set here by taking that game win already we see Tiger Pop starting it off beautifully, sending him all the way to the corner. Deus Ex Machina is activated. We got full focus, a full clip, and that positive meter bonus is only going to give us another 50 bars to play with.
Dash in here, another bar of meter, maybe can spend it on something. Yep, it's going to be that J coming out.
Oh,
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the jungler. Ooh, wait,
So
that's it.
So
Boom.
good. Yeah.
Beautifully done. So instead, taking the lead once again, says, okay, that was cute, but I like my game lead. Tiger Pop starting to be pressed in towards a corner here as Soap Eater is threatening for that bracket reset. Are we perhaps going to see a swap, or we're going to stick to the Happy Chaos? Okay, we're going to stick to Happy Chaos. Those who don't know, right, there is that secondary a.b.a that Tiger Pop does in fact play, so could be leveraged if it does get a little dicey, but for now, no issue with the Happy Chaos.
I mean, again, that's the advantage, of course, coming from the winner's side is that you can comfortably just lose the first set. I mean, it's never comfortable losing that set, but you're thinking, okay, wait a second. But again, you do have that additional privilege, right? Oh, what? Deus Ex Machina on the burst.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. So that's going to be 50 meter just gone to the drain. And of course, you usually route that in such a way where it's like, okay, we can just expend all these bullets and get the Deus Ex Machina because it's coming back anyways. But sometimes it being denied from you is going to be a little painful. However, Tiger Pop clearly undeterred, misses the Deus Ex Machina input. Oh no, but what is going on? How much resources do we need to spend? It's only for Soap Eater to come out on top. Tiger Pop locked to the corner, the backdash, beautifully done. And Tiger Pop able to take the first round.
Yep. Big counter hit, both players pressing buttons ramp start. Is Tiger Pop getting the best of that? Gonna get that curse out as well. Very good start, rolling in.
Shout out to the biscuit, keep rolling. Nice conversion, sets up the card, guard crush pressure, that fade away. Able to get to the throw, thanks to the BRC extending the recovery of the throw whiff. Fight against the wall, Deus Ex Machina focused up as well, so that's going to be basically all your resources filled up next to very close to killing them. That's a positive meter bonus running, so that's the burst back as well as that 50 meter coming in Dexu, but a gunshot will do it, and it's going to be the final game of either this evening or this reset bracket, or this bracket, sorry.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, right, we actually have a very fast bracket today. It's not even 11, but if you get a reset, that would be a pretty normal length bracket, I would say. See if
or like putting that energy out there. I don't know for what purpose. Are you doing this as a spectator or as a TO?
Let me. I've had 1 hour sleep today. in a nap all nighter.
Just say how it is. Just let Tiger Pop win. Let Bedman go to sleep.
Please. No. Nah, one more games, man. It's hype. Here we go. Soap Eater again. Also one more games. Got 2 sticks of butter here, already locked and loaded.
Jamie. Yeah, Soap Eater. Set point. Both about pretty equal on the burst gauge here. Tiger Pop does find that first touch. Now slowly driving Soap Eater towards the corner. Backdashes away, but still pressure being maintained. 5P just swatting at the chance that when Soap Eater gets close enough to the ground, he gets that pickup. Tap does connect, focus up, goes straight into the Deus Ex Machina. Excellent management of these resources, right? Riding on the razor edge of just being put out of burnout of either no bullets or no focus. Gets the tap does pick up, spat against the wall. Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Maybe thought that would kill, I don't know, but you cannot give any additional chances here to Soap Eater because that's quickly gonna turn into something very, very scary. PRC. Oh, what a tag on that air throw. Uh-oh.
Hold on. It's getting a little shaky now. Another wall break. Hold on.
There's no way.
Because Happy Chaos has no reversal supers, right?
There's no way, right? There's No way!
Burst!
All right, there is
okay.
no way. There is no way.
That is absolutely disastrous. Whereas you would have just done the super, you would have both been with burst on the round start, but still, Tiger Pop not deterred by the oopsie. Is going to bait out the burst. As you know, that was all fun and games, but let's get this wrapped up now. Half health already gone from Soap Eater. However, not being able to Deus Ex Machina means that there is going to be no bullets, and either going to constantly be reloading into one, or able to find a good hit to instead go straight into the Deus Ex Machina. Bullets back on the table. Focus running a little low though, so you have to manage that a bit. But the run-up gunshots will do it. Super focus. OTG hit. Unfortunately, YRC gives blasted away.
Final chance. Can SoBeater find a way out? FDing. It was so close to getting that comeback before, but no. Can do. Tiger Pup winning a couple Salty here in a row.
Absolutely killing on that shimmy. Beautifully done. That was a little shaky there. Could have been a real catastrophic type of loss, right? Going straight into the reset off of not finishing your food. But hey, we pull it together and we do close it out 3-2 promptly on time before 11 p.m. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Tiger Pops for taking care of us grown ups.
Shouts. Big shouts. And yeah, I mean, SoBeater before probably with a, would have been fine with a top 3 finish, but of course is guaranteed that qualification with a top 2. So also important. So SoBeater, hopefully someone we will see next week for that Head Stumper special. Same with Mineion, Zato-1 should be locked in. Precho, I'm not sure actually. Don't have enough points. It's going to depend on if people lower down the list, if they gain points or not. It's pretty interesting, actually. How much do you get for 5th place, I say, with my own ranked system?
Yeah, that's a very interesting system. The creator, don't even know how it works.
Yeah, I forgot. Did I? Where did I put it even? Oh, there we go. 5th place. It gives you 30 points. 30 points. And right now, the lowest... people, they have 20 points that are qualified, but it depends if Pieta maybe got like 15 points or something, they'd be on 30. Venna, same. Shinki, same, also on 15 currently. So yeah, be pretty close actually here for Precho if they can make it or not. Interesting. Definitely can't wait to tally that together tomorrow. Yeah.
Righto.
That's gonna be for another time. Players. Yeah, I did post the point system somewhere. If you are super interested, if you made it or not, let me just post the point system in there. And you can do the math yourself. Yeah, thank you, Yucker. Thank you, Sir Kappa.
You're welcome. I think Kappa would have said you're welcome too if his internet didn't die out.
Yeah. I mean, floor 7s, man, are built different.
Well, I have nothing to shout out at any moment. It's quite a relief, actually. So all there's left to say is go to Head Stomper.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, come to Head Stomper, right? There'll be so many players from here. A lot of the commentators that you hear on Salty, they'll be there as well. I'll be there. I'm actually the head TO for Gear Xrd Rev at Head Stomper, so perfect timing. You can go yell at me in real life and call my seating trash and whatever, and I'll have to take it because that's just how it is. And Yucker will be there. We'll be helping out with some stuff as well, so you'd also get to yell at Yucker. Even better.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you? It's like, get your grievances out for everything I've said that's wrong about Strive, all my misinformations due to not playing this game as I should.
I always think it's ironic that we always, I feel like, end up being two people who don't play the game on commentary. I've commentated like probably close to 100 Strive brackets. I probably have 100 hours in the game, so maybe I have played it. I've played it offline a little bit sometimes.
That's definitely an aspect that makes me more apprehensive to put myself out there for these bigger events. Is that this is all fun. It's got this lower stakes, but for people that put on a big show, spend a lot of money to do so. There's definitely a lot more qualified, passionate, and far more informed commentators out there.
Absolutely. And as you can see right now, we got 52. I hope that we can get that number at least maybe doubled. That would be kind of cool. Got a month. It's, of course, taking place May 30th to June 1st. I've got a lot of good names in here. We've got Mastodon, Homie Basum from my locals. We've got Marissa in here. Okay, Lohi. We got Altinid. Okay. Tala as well from my local. Very nice. Also placed in Salty quite a bit. We got Antonio. You know from Salty. We got Facebreaker. Galia is here. A lot of names that you should recognize, right? If you have played here, if you have seen the stream. We got David BSS coming. Scarftist going. Damn. Cryo's there. Orochi. Okay. We got Sea Salty. Dorito. Probably gonna have to put them on stream just for the memes because I apparently do it a lot on Salty. Shocker was also in this bracket is going. And of course we got, got Gideon as well. Gara not going because Gara is cringe. Can't believe it. Oh, I'm not going, but I might. You should. It's a great event. If you ask any of the UK Tekken players, pretty much most of them will say that it's their favorite event. Like, unironically.
I'm surprised to not see Alexiad there amongst the signups.
Yeah, I wonder if they're signing up later, maybe.
Maybe.
If Mastodon is coming, she should also be joining. Maybe I should actually go and bully her. What's that all about?
Yeah, where that sign up? You're in the country, Bev.
Yeah, let me just write on chat right now.
But yeah, next to Headstomper, right? Event season is fully back into swing. We got all these events vying for their slot, their announcements, as well as I think some very cool developments coming soon to some of your favorite events being involved in some of your favorite tours.
Yeah. I mean, skill issues, you can, the skill issue usually is money, but if it's not money, I don't want to hear it, okay?
We cannot be getting filtered out on the airline's booking website, can we now?
Right. As usual, if you're interested in watching more Guilty Gear Strive, if you want to watch some City of the Wolves, Uni 2, that's Under Night 2, very long title. We got Guilty Gear Xrd. We got Virtua Fighter 5, R.E.V.O, all kinds of stuff you can find on our YouTube. We're all up to date with Guilty Gear Strive bots, of course, apart from this one because it's not even done airing yet. It will be posted sometime soon, next couple of days. Tekken this week is yes, I think so. I just had to make sure because I'm not home that day, but I think I'll go home just to host Tekken because honestly the patch looks better now a little bit.
I thought it still kind of stank though.
Yeah. Nah, it does, but it's better. But yeah, I want to see a little bit of Tekken. It's been a while. It is my main game after all. We gotta host
Understandable. It. That was Virtua Fighter.
Man, Virtua Fighter is so good. Yeah, we do Uni on we do Uni 2 on Sundays. Sundays at 3. If you're interested, of course, hop on to our Discord. We started doing Uni 2 weeks ago, so it's weekly on Sundays, but again early Sunday. Because our City of the Wolves tournaments are also on Sunday, and that's Sunday evening. So that's kind of how we had to do it to kind of fit everything together. Is we had to have 2 Sunday tournaments.
You get to hear some of the most underqualified people talk on that game. It's awesome, like me.
Great, man. I've come to Blazeful before, man.
True.
I can say
that was crazy that you ran that.
Yeah, You know, I can say like, oh man, that guy Hakumen, he's kind of cool, or that's a baller combo.
True.
All right,
true.
I like this new 13 giga based gameplay right here. Nice. Oh, that's cheap.
False.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I think you know, I've commentated like at least maybe 10 actually Blaze Blue tournaments.
Well, there you go.
There we go. So I'm basically an expert. I played about an hour in the lab with the new 13, I think. So,
I can see why you quit, because you went straight to one of the worst characters.
I mean, I like it. Like a funny little soner.
True.
We are gonna raid someone. I'm just considering who we are gonna raid. We could go to Raging Honda. One could be fun. Yeah, let's go to Raging Honda. You know, the classic. The homie. There. One that actually we had like a big other Danish event showed up. So we're always one of the homies in my heart. Played Team Oscar together with me in the Tekken team tournament that we had.
Oh, cool.
One who streams a lot. Very strong Viking player. No more matches today. We're done with the tournament. We just missed Molecular Man, but we'll be back next Monday, of course, as usual. And next Monday is going to be the time where we're on Twitch front page. So I need to figure out something more interesting, because we're going to have a long ass stream. It might not just be Strive. Maybe we're going to get some other games in there. I honestly haven't figured it out yet, but yep, that's going to be it. Have a good one. Peace out.
Peace. Play Blaze Blue.